we've got a great weekend of salty brawl matches, whatever this is. Wait, this is good.
It's a salty weekend, John.
Salty weekend matches. I always mess that up. All right, so this is John or Virde, and joined with me are...
Hertz Donut or Dan.
And finally...
Cassidy, 14.
And also goes by Steve, so...
Yeah, oh, okay. We do names too.
Yeah, we do names too here too.
Wonderful.
So our first match kicking off for us is going to be Nightsmoke, coming from Team Andy over in Bible Thump, and then Mykel. Yeah? Michael. All right, we'll go with Michael.
Let's go with Michael.
From Singularity, representing Franker Z. So let's see. We're gonna be kicking that off really soon. This week, as most of you, or probably all of you know, is the turf war week where both divisions are matching up against each other. How's your team doing this week, Steve?
We won, actually.
All your games?
No, not all of our games. We had, I think, 1 or 2 DQs on the other side, and then I managed to somehow win after going down 0-2, and I think that kind of sealed the deal. And I think our team captain won 3-2 as well, So,
yeah, you guys are representing Franker Z. And do you wanna? What team are you on?
I am on Noob Central.
Noob Central. And it looks like you guys are sitting there pretty in about 3rd place. So
no, we were in last going into this week. We did move up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so good week for Noob Central, and Franker Z. I mean, I don't want to be biased, but Franker Z's kind of giving the beat down.
Oh, we're kind of crushing, yeah.
Yeah, Archon Storm's had a pretty good week too. Okay, so it looks like we're ready.
Wait, how are we already? Is this just not updated? The fact that Archon Storm's
yeah, it's not updated. It's not updated.
In first place. All right.
Yeah. Let's not freak out. We'll get updated. Okay. So we're jumping in, and right off the bat, we see Nightsmoke with the Golden Warrior, and Michael with the Handlock. What do you guys think? We have Dan. Dan, what do you think? Who do you think's favored here?
Handlock.
Handlock.
If I was, as a warrior, generally, I think as a warrior, you're just never excited to see a warlock.
Right.
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah. So Steve, you also give it to Michael, having the advantage.
Yeah, I would say though that because Nightsmoke looks like he's control, that he definitely has a better chance of winning this than if he was a patron warrior. So it's going to come down to whether or not he has the spot removal to deal with the turn 4 threats, and right now he doesn't, so he's going to be in trouble.
Right.
It's really strange. It feels like a control warrior. It feels like a control warrior should be able to just wreck Handlock because it has so much cheap removal, but I'm continually surprised at how inconsistent it seems to be against the early threats you get out of a warlock or out of.
I feel like the second you're forced to like execute a Drake or a Sludge Belcher or something that's not a giant, you pretty much are just so far behind that you're constantly catching up.
Let's jump right into this play. Actually, we got Spellbreaker about to do some insane work. Not your typical warrior bring, control warrior bring. And do you? I mean, maybe that. I mean, it looks like Michael has the God Hand. He's got the Mountain Giants. He's got the boom. He's got a lot of pressure in his hand. Do you think that maybe this huge tempo swing could? I mean, this could probably maybe turn it around.
It definitely keeps him in the game at this point, I would say.
And it's interesting.
Right, it's not over, but man, that's a lot of great Handlock cards.
Yeah.
And without an execute coming up, if he draws an execute, he's sitting pretty. But
yeah, Nightsmoke's hand is just really not what you want.
Yeah, it's really clunky.
Right.
There's not a lot of value for a deck that prides itself on value.
I would like to point out that the Spellbreaker actually is. I mean, it's not a typical bring. If people want silences, they bring Owl, and Owl could have easily been punished with the Mortar Coil. So it's pretty cool that Spellbreaker turns out to be a pretty good bring. Unfortunately, this Mountain Giant's not going to be answered. So Michael's going to be.
I'm not sure about the Lothab. No. I'm not sure what he was trying to play around at that point.
I like the Lothab because it means he's not going to get Dark Bombed on his 4/3, and he really needs to preserve that body to help deal with the board in some way. So, I mean, I'm assuming if you're looking at a Handlock with that many cards, you're assuming there's at least a Dark Bomb there or coming up. And if he dark bombs your 4-3 away, you're just pretty much toast, given the hand that Nightsmoke has.
So we do see the double dark bomb. So that's a pretty good point from Steve. Now, he set up the Mountain Giant to be able to get War Axe, but still not a single execute or shield slam. So Nightsmoke's going to go digging and not find it.
No, no shield slam.
It's really rough. So are you going to axe
It's really too
this?
bad because he could have coined Boom as well.
Oh,
Right.
yes, he could have.
Do you think he axes this, or do you think he trades in here?
I think I would axe just for the value of it.
But at the same time, if he, I guess he has the shield mins in hand, so yeah, the axe seems okay.
I don't
The
think
thing
you
is,
need to worry
you
about
don't
the
want
armor yet.
to draw onto your shield slams after, you know, later in the game generally is when you don't have as much of a stockpile going.
Sets up the Death Spite, though.
The Death Spite equips,
That kills, maybe that killed the...
He draws into Grom,
He has
and I
Grom.
wonder if he's trying to set up like a sneaky lethal right here, just burst the Warlock out of nowhere.
Or he can set off his own boom bots next turn, or like activate and execute if he top decks one. It's not a bad play. It's a different way to approach it.
We see Mykel top decking the Acidic Swamp Ooze, which is gonna probably come down here. It is worth noting though that kind of messes up his perfect curve into the Dr. Boom. So not a really good follow up. I mean, I guess an Argus probably would just seal things up a little bit. And Nightsmoke's just got to be feeling pretty unhappy about that. That develops Death Spite. All right.
I think also it's a blessing in disguise here that Mykel was at 16 health. Because if he had played down the Molten Giant, then that would have been... And maybe next turn he's... You know, you just want to get as much value out of that brawl as possible.
Right, sure. That's a great
and
point.
Boom plays into that big time.
Better. So Dr. Boom coming down, just playing it on curve. It's a strong play, but it's going up into a wall that Mykel's created. I mean, so are we still is everyone still on board with the handlock pick? Are we still favoring the handlock, or do you think Nightsmoke's try to?
I think Nightsmoke's in a pretty good position. Could be in a really good position if he starts to draw into, because he still has basically 4 cards that will kill big things.
Yes. Sure.
And so, and he still has the brawl. So I would not count it out yet, but I wouldn't say that he's safe.
I think Mykel is really far ahead here because he just has so many threats left, even in his hand, after this board gets dealt with. Because this isn't a super powerful handlock board. Sorry. And it's still going to force the warrior to work really hard to get rid of it, and then the big stuff comes down again.
Well, so if Mykel overreaches here, and it doesn't look like he is going to play the Molten, but if he had, wow, and there's the Rag. This is a very control-heavy handlock to be playing Rag. Do you think Nightsmoke's finally going to brawl here, or is he not seeing enough value on board for the brawl?
I don't know if he has a choice, really.
Yeah, I don't see a way around it.
He's just really not getting any removal.
Only 3 of these minions can attack. You can remove the Drake with the Death Spite and the 2 bombs. And if those bombs, land favorably, you might basically be up against a non-attacking Ancient. So, that left that alive. All right, so this is a big bomb. Oh wow, that's unfortunate. Well, it's
okay. He's not gonna brawl.
It's a 3 attack. Yeah, I kind of like this play. I'm on board.
Because you're not fearing the burst, so you can sit at 19 life against that board and feel okay.
Oh my god, a second Acidic Swamp Ooze also top decked after the
Salty weekends indeed.
Yeah, salty weekends indeed, and Nightsmoke's gotta be really in shock. Let's see, Nightsmoke is bringing a Warlock, Warrior, and Druid.
Druid.
So one weapon class, and this much weapon hate is really surprising.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that too. It's really interesting that he's going to hate that hard. I mean, maybe Mykel is bringing this deck as the patron killer and just was hoping he would queue into patron. I don't know, because there's no way patron's winning against that list.
Well, good on Mykel.
That might be a pattern for the whole, across his entire list, or his entire lineup.
Maybe he wants to just lock out Grim Patron.
And for those at home, Mykel is bringing Hunter, Priest, and Warlock. So the Hunter and both Hunter and Priest would actually be very difficult for to beat Patron. So I'm not maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finally see this brawl come down, and Nightsmoke's just really hoping not to see a Dr. Boom come out. And so it ends up being the Watcher, which is great actually. It still is blocking any Grom threat, but
and it doesn't die to the axe either.
Right, it's not pressuring Nightsmoke. So we're gonna see Rag come down. This is really gonna apply pressure. Basically, he needs an execute to he needs an execute, I think, right? Like there's maybe a shield slam would get him out.
Game Hunter.
Oh,
shield
wow.
slam.
Oh, there it is.
Off the top, Nightsmoke's still in it. It looks like he's just gonna need to be safe. You gotta just shield Maiden and BGH.
Yeah, I agree.
The beast in my sight.
So Nightsmoke, not out of it yet. And in fact, this board is pretty decent considering that Mykel only has 5 cards in hand. I mean, the Molten Giant's unplayable. A lot of these are pretty bad.
The Shadow Flame coming in is pretty solid.
Oh, you think so? You think he's gonna go with that?
I feel like when you've got this much of an advantage, there's no reason not to press it.
Right.
Although
right.
after the tap, the mana is really awkward now after the tap.
Well, yeah, if you could only Shadow Flame ostensibly. I guess, yeah, that's all you really could do is Shadow Flame.
Yeah, so I think he's just going to play the Belcher.
Yeah.
So Nightsmoke's actually got a really good couple.
Yeah, he's in this. There's a shield slam.
There it is.
Huge.
I wonder what
he can steal.
I wonder what the rationale was for not playing. Yeah, he could Sylvanas. Oh no!
No. I think.
Yeah, no, because it keeps it for
Actually,
removal.
I think right. I think you even keep her in your hand and wait for your Giants come down, and just still plan to shield flame it
and armor up. You just do what Warrior does best.
Just
down
survive.
and keep removal. Do
not
it.
die.
The Sylvanas play that both Steve and Dan were pointing out to. Just for everyone who didn't see it, is you play Sylvanas, you shield slam Sylvanas, you can take a minion. This Sylvanas is going to get really punished if he plays it. And I think it's really.
It is.
I have no time for games.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's
Siphon
really
Soul's
easy
not
for us
super
to say,
common, but
the Siphon Soul's definitely going to see some play, and then I think we'll see an Ancient Watcher come down.
That is the type of proactive play, though, that he locked him out of playing like another big minion because he could have just stolen it right away. So I actually think, because you're playing to win and not to not lose, so that could have been a swing play that he just made a read, and I don't know. I'm not going to fault him for that.
Looking at kind of how Mykel's been spending his mana, and then also considering the fact that you've seen Rag, you've seen Dr. Boom, there's very few other heavy hitters outside of the Giants. I don't know. I still don't think I agree with that play. Regardless, Nightsmoke.
especially given, if you look at his life total, I don't know if you said that, but you know.
Oh, I don't think I would have made it either. I just think there was probably some rationale to it.
That makes sense. So Nightsmoke elects not to trade, and this is going to unlock the Molten Potential, and a Hellfire picked up. So Nightsmoke, Warrior at 2 health is not a big deal. I mean, the Warriors can come back from this very easily. He has the Shield Maiden, so Nightsmoke is clawing his way out. Mykel, again, his hand just seems so awkward, and I think he realizes that and wants to get this Molten out. The Owl
smart play there.
is interesting. It allows him to unlock the Watcher as a usable minion, but I think he's just going to play the Molten and maybe even
He needs to taunt up, because Gromash is definitely a threat.
Right, and we should have pointed out that, Grom was actually lethal if he hadn't taunted him. Okay, so Nightsmoke in a great position here. He can Shield Slam.
He's 1 mana short of still having lethal. Actually, he has lethal.
1 mana off, right?
No, he's good. He's got it. Shield Slam. Shield Slam. She can run in. Oh, he might still be off. Yeah, he's off.
He's got exact lethal. He has exact lethal. With the Whirlwind.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So,
oh my.
Falling back and able to take this. I think he'll see it. It looks like he does. I mean, I'd assume a Golden Warrior.
Yeah, I missed the Taskmaster.
Oh!
Oh!
No! He missed it.
Well, he's going to drop Rag and still put a ton of pressure on him, but that heal bot might make him pay.
Well, I mean, the Molten Shadow Flame heal bot is going to be painful.
Pretty rough.
I think. Wow. So Nightsmoke, unfortunately, missing lethal. He is putting on a lot of pressure, and it will be difficult for Mykel to climb out of this. But the BGH. So he doesn't have to Shadow Flame now.
Still has no taunts though.
Right. So that's a great point.
Right. Without taunting. Well, the heal bot will still get him out of it. The heal bot will get him out of it.
Healbot
by
will
1.
13. He will
if he clears, correct.
If he owls the Belcher.
Yeah, he has to kill the Sludge Belcher.
And not tap.
Now, if I'm Mykel, funny enough, I would probably not play around Grom, considering... I mean, I would try to, but considering the fact that he didn't kill you last turn, he would have had lethal.
It was pretty close. I mean, I don't know that... I mean, as Mykel, looking at just a warrior with 5 cards in his hand, would you have figured that he had lethal? Even though you had 2 taunts up?
I guess
this is lethal.
Well, let's see if Nightsmoke
This
sees
is
it
definitely lethal, though.
He does.
There we
he
go.
grabs the bomb immediately. So, Nightsmoke with the ultimate BM, prolonging the game one extra turn, actually able to come back from what looked like a really bad position.
Yeah, he really engineered that well.
Yep. So, Nightsmoke's drawing first blood for Team Andy, and Mykel takes a loss coming from Singularity. So, looking at their lineups, Steven, what do you think they're going to try to bring next? Mykel again with Hunter, Priest, and Warlock. Nightsmoke with Druid and Warlock remaining.
If I were Mykel, I think I would bring Hunter because it's going to put enough pressure on the board to make Druid react to it, and you should be able to win that. And then its hero power just counters Warlocks so well. I would play mid-range Hunter, but that's my favorite deck. That's kind of my bread and butter because I just think it matches up really well against whatever they're using.
Note to
so
cast these
Mykel goes
future opponents.
with Priest, and he's going with Priest versus Druid. We can see both are golden, it looks like. Wow, so Mykel with the golden Priest, I'm really jealous of that. And Nightsmoke, as Dan mentioned at the beginning, is well known for having many gold.
Right, Mykel's golden Priest. This demolished me when we played.
Oh, yeah? Well, he's
no slouch.
So I wouldn't feel bad. Alright, okay. So Nightsmoke able to find the wild growth, that's huge.
That's smart play. The
Azure Drake is really big too. That's going to refresh the hand. So both players looking like they have fairly good hands. The Zombie Child is going to be able to have an uncontested board for a couple turns. So this is interesting. So if you're Nightsmoke here, do you coin the wild growth to set up Innervate Azure Drake?
Probably, because I don't know what your line of play is otherwise.
Well, I mean, I'm not. It's a priest.
Just wait and see with the Wrath.
If B, it's a zombie chow, so I'm not feeling particularly like pressured, but Nightsmoke does end up going with the coin wild growth. And Mykel is probably just gonna slap a shield on this. He does, and the Cabal. So the Cabal's not exceptionally great unless he has a Shrinksmeister, and in which case that's a really late game play. This used to be one of the most favored matchups for Druids. They used to blow Priests out of the water. However, I feel like the new Death Lord Priests and the addition of Light Bomb are actually really helpful for Priests. And I think Priests probably closer to like a 45-55 matchup now. Do you guys tend to agree, or what do you guys think?
I don't play or see enough Priest to really feel like I'm making a strong decision either way.
Right.
The Light Bomb does. I follow the line of logic though with the Light Bomb because that takes care of most importantly, it takes the shade completely out of the equation. No matter when, no matter how long it's been around. And also, I feel like Druid depends on battle cries for a lot of its minions, and so even if they kill off your Death Lord, it's not like a control warrior maybe, or someone who just has a ton of giant minions. So that's super huge value.
Right, fair enough. So
even the downside of the Death Lord is still an upside for you.
Nightsmoke actually able to surprisingly clear Mykel's somewhat hefty board, and Mykel has no play at all. So he's going to pass it right back to Nightsmoke, and Nightsmoke's going to have a chance
respect for not healing his face.
Right. That's like, that's such a time waster. That annoys me so much. Somebody made a point, I was reading on the Competitive Hearts Reddit, that actually it'll inspire Priest will now want to use that fake heal, because it may like count towards a Frost Giant or whatever. Anyway, back to the game. We see this Harrison come down. Again, more weapon hate coming from Mykel, despite the fact Nightsmoke only brought one weapon class. So it's interesting that we see Harrison here. Nightsmoke continues to develop these shades, and as Dan said, these shades are going to probably get light bombed pretty soon.
Especially with 2 in hand.
And Light Bomb is one of the few cards that actually really effectively take care of shades. And I think Mykel wants to, kind of continue to give Nightsmoke a false sense of security. He's not feeling pressured at since it is only 26. But these shades are, if Nightsmoke gets too greedy with them, these shades are probably going to see no action.
The on-curve Ancient of Lore is a really important pickup here too, because he was just starting to run out of steam, and now he'll be able to drop a 5/5 and refill his hand.
That's an enormous pickup. That's such a great top deck. Nightsmoke may be considering, like, if he wants to clear these boards. The Injured Blade Master, being somewhat of a Priest player myself, is actually one of the, if not the hardest minion for a Druid to clear. If it gets to full 7 health, Druids just don't have hard removal to deal with a 7 health minion that can't be beat.
And it's not like you can silence it back down.
Right, so it looks like he... Wow!
Yeah, I think this is the right play, especially in light of the light bombs.
You think valuing the Pyromancer over the Blade Master is correct, though?
No, that's a... I mean, the Pyromancer is an anti-aggro card, and as I was saying... Wow, okay, wow, alright, so very interesting line of plays from both players. Mykel doesn't get too greedy with the light bombs, and Nightsmoke doesn't get too greedy with the shades, so both players playing fairly conservative. We see the lore come down, and it picks up double Savage Roar. So there's half...
Yikes.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
Well over, because he's got the Innervate, so if he picks up... I mean,
the Innervate's really big.
That's the true Wombo incoming.
Yeah, and I mean, on an empty board, a Savage Roar, or Force of Nature Savage Roar...
22 damage.
Does 20, yeah, exactly. 22 damage with a 5/5 on the board. I mean, I think he's dead at 30, so...
I have no
at
time
9, yeah, so that'd be 31 damage. Alright, so we see the Sylvanas come down, and I don't think silencing it does anything. I think you just trade in. Like, even if you silence it, like, are you really want to go past that? I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Nightsmoke's not going to be that greedy here. He just picked up Dr. Boom, so perhaps if he does silence it and go face, it kind of doesn't.
I think you're correct, especially because now he has both Roar and Innervate in his hand, and he's already at the point in the game where he can combo once. So I think now you're starting to hope you can get the Priest low enough to just die to that combo, because nobody really ever plays around it. Otherwise, I don't know how you're going to burst him down.
A huge top deck from Mykel now with the Shadow Word. He elects the Light Bomb. Any reason why he would not go with Shadow Word Death and Cabal?
And a Cabal?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, he will get enormously rewarded if he can find a Shrinkmeister right now to deal with the Sludge Belcher.
He also hasn't seen a Keeper of the Grove yet, and Cabal, I mean, that's a really good value target for Cabal, just naked even.
Sure. Well, he's got a really awkward turn here. Really awkward.
Shows an and Shadow Word, but I don't think that's the right play.
Your mind.
He throws down the naked Cabal. I think going back to last turn, I think I liked the Shadow Word Death on the Boom, and then the Cabal on one of the bots a little more than the Light Bomb.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
I agree. I guess the problem with the Light Bomb is it does backfire.
Right.
And
you can't develop your
Druid's not going to get a giant fort of its own. You've already taken care of its shades and both Druid of the Claws.
So Nightsmoke looking in a fairly commanding position here. He is easily able to deal with the Cabal. He's got the double Savage Roar. He's got the Innervate. He's got a minion on board that is really difficult for Mykel to manipulate. So this is looking pretty grim for Mykel.
Nightsmoke is just praying to RNGesus right now to find that force of nature.
And we see the second Cabal come down. I mean, this is a Yeti for 6 mana. Emperor Thurston is a huge pickup from Nightsmoke. It allows him. I mean, this is just going to be an insane amount of combo dexterity, for lack of a better term. I guess I would innervate Emperor. Oh wow, he doesn't.
No.
Huh. So innervating Emperor there, what that does, just to explain kind of the math of it, you are essentially trading an innervate for about 4
one extra innervate. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you're also developing a 5/5, so that has to be immediately answered. So I'm not sure if I agree with that play. It probably won't matter. Nightsmoke is so far ahead. He can silence. I think he can deal with this board fairly easy. And Mykel down to 1 card as a priest. That is terrifying. His 1 draw mechanic is out there as kind of a naked 1/3, not doing much. So Nightsmoke just really needs to deal with this board, and then he can kind of just probably win without even the combo.
Yeah, he might even be able to just Savage Roar his way if he can build up a board right here on this turn.
Right, this is a little bit awkward because you can't really leave these things up, especially the Cleric. And it looks like he's going to use Savage Roar to clear off part of this, and then the Keeper. Okay, and then yeah, kill the Cleric. I like this a lot.
I do too.
And wow, these cards, Mykel cannot catch a break to save his life. He has no Cabals to answer this Keeper. Both his spells are dead. And Nightsmoke draws Force of Nature. So finally, Nightsmoke finding it. I wonder if he plays a double force or a single force, because he is 21 cards deep. So he finally found it. And that's game 2. We see some BM as well. Yeah, some BM as well.
Well played.
So Nightsmoke jumping up 2-1 or 2-0, sorry. And he's got his Druid and his Warrior out of the way, so he just has Warlock left, which is gonna be really rough. I mean, Priest struggles with Warlock. If you're Mykel right now, what do you think you don't know what Warlock it is? You have Hunter, you have your Priest, and you have your Handlock. What do you guys think? Where do you start this? This
I'm going Hunter.
Hunter?
I think I'd go Hunter too.
Steve, I feel like you always go Hunter. Is that just
Yeah, you were spectating me earlier and you came in, I was playing Hunter.
Yeah.
I really enjoy both Hunter and Warrior, and then Druid is like a distant third in terms of my favorite classes.
Well, we're gonna see Nightsmoke with the Golden Warlock. It is Handlock from the looks of it, and Mykel elects to go back to his Handlock. So we're gonna have a Handlock mirror. Knowing what we know from Mykel, what do we think about Mykel's Handlock list? Do we think it's good, above average, below average for the mirror?
Well, it's got Rag in it, which I think is definitely a good thing because Rag can snipe giants.
Right.
We see double Hellfire from Nightsmoke already, and hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but Hellfire just doesn't feel like a very impactful card in this matchup. So I think that is a deck slot he's hurting for.
It is a good. Yeah. It is worth noting though that he didn't know if it was Zoo or Handlock. Oh no, he does. I'm sorry. He saw the Handlock earlier. So yeah, that's a terrible card for him then. He does pick up the Mountain Giant. So both players with the Mountain Giant and the Twilight Drake, so they've got the power in their hands. As you know, it's pretty well known. Whoever has the coin has the advantage of the first Twilight Drake, but they can't get the Mountain Giant out. So I'm interested to see if Nightsmoke does throw the Twilight Drake out. Personally, I'm someone who does like doing it. I like getting the coin out of my hand as a Handlock player.
I
However,
agree. I also don't like to get BGH'd right on turn 4 because I think it's just a massive tempo swing. Because a 4-2 body on turn 4 isn't that bad, and you just killed your giant with it.
So what is worth noting, and I'm very familiar with this in the mirror match, the 4-8, that 8 health is huge. The difference between 8 and 9, coining it out makes it, that 1 health point makes it really weak to the returning Mountain Giant or even the Twilight Drake, which will have an extra health. So they can't kind of, like, you don't win the oh, he top.
Oh,
wow.
So we see the top decked owl. That's definitely got to come down right here. That's an enormous pickup. Mykel doesn't have the owl to respond, and that's gonna be really rough as Nightsmoke goes for.
The only downside is that he doesn't have a Mortal Coil to go along with it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's. I would.
He was looking for it right there.
Yeah, and I think tapping there is probably fine too. Since you have the Mountain
definitely.
And the Twilight Drake, keep that hand big. Both players have pretty solid hands. I think Mykel's gonna be pretty devastated here, though. If he had another Twilight Drake, that would be really good because it then could test this board really well. He elects the Hellfire Mortal Coil.
I think that's a great idea. Because when else are you gonna get value out of the Hellfire?
I actually disagree. I find that Hellfire is a really good lethal mechanic. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's not bad. I guess it works really well with that board. I kind of like developing the giant, but again, a BGH would be absolutely devastating and probably would be the end of the game. Nightsmoke goes with the tap into the 3 mana Night Mountain Giant, and Mykel doesn't have a response. So he can also tap into
taunt his zone.
He's got double Molten, so I almost think I would just bait a face hit here with like a naked Mountain Giant.
That's pretty ballsy. I mean, we do see Nightsmoke has 9 burst damage in his hand, although that's 10 mana to do. He looks like he wants to tap, maybe looking for the BGH, doesn't find it, and I think we're... Wow, okay, so we see double Ancient.
Double Ancient Watcher.
That's the oddest response I've ever seen to Mountain Giant. The Shadow Flame is an enormous pickup for Nightsmoke. Shadow Flame is I would say, I mean, it's probably in the top 4 or 5 cards in this matchup. It's just enormous. You can get incredible value if they overreach. And right now, Mykel looks like he's taking the train of thought that you suggested, Steven, where he's going to try to get these Molten Giants down. And if he does so, this Shadow Flame could really punish him.
Yeah, you would hope, because in the mirror, I think you want to keep 1 giant on the board at a time because of the value of Shadow Flame that you mentioned. So I would hope that he's looking to do that down the line, but he's not going to just drop both of them and then taunt up right away.
Right. So what do you think about taking the Belcher over the Twilight Drake? Anyone?
I guess if you're going to trade, it protects your giant from getting like attacked by an Ancient Watcher, but got owled the next turn.
Right.
But I think that might be overthinking it a little bit because your board is just inherently weaker now.
Right. Well, Nightsmoke continues to have a really good advantage here. He can trade into this Dr. Boom and slow the game down. It looks like he wants to slow the game down by hitting an Ancient Watcher with a Mountain Giant. This Mountain Giant pickup is enormous. As you said, Mykel, it's not a good idea to really ever have 2 giants out unless you've seen a Shadow Flame. It tends to get punished. So he does trade. Thinking about the sequencing with the bombs. Oh, and he elects to go with the Twilight Drake over the Mountain Giant, kind of playing around the BGH.
Almost out of time.
And I think, or maybe he misplayed that. He could have played both. I'm not really sure if he was. It looked like he was trying to reach back to the Giant. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was a miscalculated mana on his part. Regardless, he still has a fairly nice advantage here. Mykel has yet to play that Mountain Giant. I think Mykel kind of, this game will, I think, go better for Mykel the longer it goes. He's got double Moltons. He also has the Siphon Soul. We saw the Rag. So Mykel might have
and
a better...
that ooze could be really, really helpful
Yes, it could.
if we get far enough along to have Jiraxis.
And worth
Yeah, we
noting-
didn't see Jiraxis in Michael's deck in the first game, I don't think.
We
so
did not.
I'd be interested to see if Nightsmoke is running it, or if Mykel is running it, we just didn't see it.
Yeah, and the Swamp Ooze is just much better than Harrison in the mirror, because by the time Jiraxis comes down as a hand lap player, you don't want to draw a card. So Mykel finally dropping the Mountain Giant, and he's going to throw down a Sun Fury. He's trying to decide if he wants to use this boom bot or not. I think I probably would. You have the Hellfire, so putting it at 3 health is not a bad idea.
And he was rewarded for it.
Even better.
Yeah, so Boombot, obviously one of the strongest minions in the game. And so, all right, so Nightsmoke may finally Shadow Flame here. What do you do you think he's going to Shadow Flame or continue to kind of play the board?
I think you have to Shadow. Well, I don't know.
He could Dark Bomb, I guess, and just sort
I
of...
would defer to you guys that play Handlock more than I do, because I think I would Shadow Flame, and then I would look back on the game and say that I shouldn't have.
So I think he's going to Dark Bomb it straight in.
Yeah, I think that's the right call for sure.
And then just Ancient here. This is, I think this turn right here is where I think Mykel is going to probably turn this game around. That's my prediction. If he obviously draws a BGH or anything, that would be enormous. But Mykel finally has a board to play with, and he's got a much stronger hand. Nightsmoke is actually only really has 2 threats. One is of course really conditional. So we'll see. I mean, both of the players are really conspicuously missing their BGHs, and it looks like they're both really digging for them. So he finds the Mountain Giant. You got to be really careful here to overextending. I would still play the Mountain Giant. You need to kind of...
I wouldn't call it... I wouldn't even think it's an overextension, because you have both Moltons in hand, so I would be trying to draw out the Shadow Flame.
Now, if you play the Mountain Giant, are you doing anything else this turn? Because if not, I think I would just get the full mana value out of the Molten Giant.
Yeah, I would try to bait the Shadow Flame with a Mountain Giant and then an Ooze.
I agree with you, though. I agree with Cassidy, though. If you're not... So this is fine. But yeah, just playing the Molten at 7 and being able to do the...
I think if you're baiting Shadow Flame, I would have just dropped the Molten, because you still would have had to do it.
Wow, Emperor is a huge pickup. So the board tension is really high right now. This is a very determining turn. It's really awkward for Nightsmoke. If this was 10 mana, this would be an amazing turn. He could Molten, he could Shadow Flame, he could ET, he could Shadow Flame. The other option is he doesn't even have to Shadow Flame. He could double Hellfire and trade and really accelerate things, and then throw down a free Molten Giant. It looks like I think we're gonna probably see a Shadow Flame here, though. I'm surprised he's shadowing the Watcher. I guess he's going to Dark Bomb and trade.
Dark Bomb trade? That's not...
So why
sense.
not just shadow the Mountain if you're not trading? If you're trading,
Yeah.
Oh,
Unless
yeah.
he's going to hit face.
I think he just realized.
I was thinking there was only 3 left on the Mountain.
That was a colossal misplay if he's trading. If he goes face, it makes sense, but if he goes face, he's going to get severely punched. So go away and Watcher and a Dark Bomb. Anyway, it could be tough to see. So now, and that turn, now Mykel's about to just...
the window for Mykel to win this match just opened up.
Yep, that's a great way of putting it. I think we're going to see Twilight, and I'd probably go Sludge Belcher. The Dr. Boom still presents an issue. Mykel at 11 cards and Nightsmoke at 13 cards really got to start expecting to see BGHs. I would be really... Yeah, so I like this Twilight Drake. I would be really impressed if Mykel actually just played Molten and Acidic Ooze. That's another play I kind of really like. It puts some more power on the board. Alright, so now Nightsmoke is for the first time really finding himself without a board or a great bailout plan. ET is basically a taunt. I mean, Dr. Boom is very powerful as well. These minions by themselves are threatening 7 damage, so he's looking at 9 health. It's pretty hard for a handlock to burst that much.
He's got 6 burst damage in his hand.
Right.
Mykel does.
Mykel does. He hasn't used.
So Mykel can do 13 damage right now.
Right.
So
he hasn't used the Hellfire.
Nightsmoke is safe.
Oh wow, he's playing.
Oh, that's a good pickup. I think that would be my turn here.
Well, if Rag hits Twilight or Face, it's really bad.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the 9. I wouldn't.
The 9 is huge. I think we're gonna see an ET since it's ostensibly a taunt and I guess Watcher. I think Nightsmoke's probably feeling really not too good about this turn. ET has a pretty decent effect. What it captures was that 7 cards? Yeah, 7 cards. So it's pretty good. But Mykel can really close the game out hard here with some efficient trading. I would expect to see probably either a Dark Bomb or a Hellfire. Wow, and he gets his Sylvanas. Man, this handlock is so top heavy, it's ridiculous.
It's definitely an anti-control list. That's what it feels like. I really
don't like this this Siphon Soul at all if he does do it. No. He has no BGH.
Oh, really?
There's a lot bigger minions you can hit with it.
Your Sludge Belcher is useless in trading, so yeah, Dark Bombing here is a much better play. Very good by Mykel. This Sylvanas is really strong too. It's very strong because Siphon Soul has basically been rotated out of handlock lists, and so I really like that. By the way, Mykel decides to keep his Sludge Belcher alive, so he's playing really safe. Doesn't attack space, so keeping the Moltens somewhat at bay, although not
sure how much difference it makes.
With the Sylvanas out, I wouldn't really hate Moltens, to be completely honest. You know, I would probably just go in. What are you scared of? Right. He doesn't have a Shadow Flame, so he doesn't have a great rebound to double Molten, though. Aside from some sort of Sylvanas play. It looks like we're going to see a double Hellfire into
Molten
into a Healbot, I would think.
Yeah, that's a
really
good play.
Otherwise game.
Emperor really set up a great turn here.
Yeah, that Sylvanas gets no value. The Molten comes down, the Healbot comes down. So Nightsmoke was a very strong play, but he's down. Oh, the Shadow Flame. Oh my gosh. That's the card that Mykel needed for this bailout. So Mykel is going to just auto Molten Shadow Flame here. He doesn't. Oh, he has the
Is that better than Siphon Soul?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Personally, I like it more.
But why? You've already seen. I believe this is his 4th giant. But he hasn't seen Boom.
He's only seen 1 Molten, I guess.
But just knowing, I don't know, with all those Moltens on hand.
And you've seen 1 Shadow Flame from your opponent. And I think after you saw both Hellfires, you're not playing around the second one anymore. But that would just be me. Because you're normally only running a combination of 3 of those cards.
No, that's a valid excuse. Shadow Flame's also extremely nice against Draxus. You can kind of get a couple Infernals. So that's a fair point. So Mykel bounces back using his Healbot and his Molten Giant. So now Nightsmoke is seeing both Moltens from Mykel, so he has no fear of anything. I would be surprised if we don't see Rag dropped on this turn, because it has some really good targets on board.
Ooh, that's a good pickup.
Nice.
That is a good pickup. We haven't seen Draxus from either player or a BGH. Also, Mykel has yet to draw an Owl. So some really big response.
Well, you gotta. I mean, you need to make some sacrifices to put 2 Ooses in.
Yeah, exactly. So I would think one of those 2 cards isn't in his deck.
So many.
Yeah, and Siphon Soul and Sylvanas and Rag are other cards that you don't really. They're kind of not in your typical ladder list. So maybe a heavily teched list. Anyway, Nightsmoke. I don't know if I think he doesn't feel comfortable with Rag because if it misses the Molten, it's just really bad. So does Mykel have lethal here? He has 11. Oh, he has lethal. Okay, so Mykel has lethal as long as this Boombot does not hit the Antique Healbot.
Okay.
Actually, he might even have. No, yeah, he has to do it this way. So he's gonna run the 1-2 into this. As long as it doesn't hit the anti-kill bot, he has lethal. It doesn't, and that's gonna be the game's gonna go to Mykel. He sees the lethal, and that was a really, really well played by both players. Mykel was really astute to slow it down. Also,
and he goes to level 60 Warlock on that win. How about that?
All right, so really astutely slowing the game down and able to knock out Nightsmoke's handlock. He also was able to see a lot of the deck. They went down to 9 cards each, so there was a lot of the deck revealed. He saw that. What did he see? I guess he saw.
He saw double Hellfire.
Double Hellfire, Sylvanas.
No,
Ragnaros.
Didn't have a Sylvanas.
Or did he not see Ragnaros? No, I don't think he did.
Didn't see Ragnaros, which is actually a really good point, because Ragnaros can sneak lethal buddy. So Mykel going to Hunter now.
Yes, finally.
Oh wow! And there's an owl and a Hunter's Mark in the. He's mulligan, and we see a Jiraxxus finally from Nightsmoke.
Yes, we do.
So if Dan, if you're Nightsmoke here, are you gonna keep your Molten against Hunter?
No.
No. How about you? How about you, Steve?
I would not, because I think by the time you're playing Molten, you're dying to burn anyway.
I don't know if he runs Chows, but I think a piece of advice you actually gave me, John, was against a Hunter as a handlock, just don't even bother trying to be a handlock. Just play Hearthstone and just try to be on curve.
You get big stuff down.
Yeah, you just play a Chow and you don't tap, and on turn 4 you play a 4/4 or 4/5 Drake, and that's all fine.
Oh, he's got
So
the
he
Drake.
gets the Drake,
Mortal
he has
Coil.
the Mortal Coil, and he has the Owl. Really good hand from Nightsmoke. Insanely good hand from Mykel.
We don't know yet, though, what kind of Hunter Mykel is, because he's got all the cards in his hand. Well, the Hunter's Mark you don't always see in Fast Hunter.
It's not very face, yeah.
Hunter's Mark probably is mid-range. In mid-range, I think Hybrid probably. I don't know. It's really tough. What do you think is the best variation of Hunter versus Handlock, Steve, as a Hunter player?
Definitely mid-range.
As mid-range? Okay. So I think Face is really bad, obviously.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
Burns out really fast. I've been doing really well. I think Hybrid does pretty well, but yeah, mid-range has Sylvanas sometimes. It has Dr. Boom. The high mains are really difficult.
Yeah.
So
I run Lotheb in mine, and a well-timed Lotheb can just ruin Handlock's day.
So the Owl's a really great response to this juggler, and it's going to be able to kill this active juggler. Not really anything Mykel could do about it. He had no really good 2-drop. Obviously, you have to hold on to that Iron Beak. And we see a tap from Nightsmoke. So Mykel's gonna be able to push some more damage. He picks up another 2-drop, an actual playable 2-drop, and he's got a pretty. I mean, he's got the burn he needs. He's got the taunt removal he needs. He's in a pretty good spot. So we're gonna see the Prodigy come down, and it's gonna get removed instantly by this Owl.
Is gonna be
we see this is a Houndmaster. So
okay, so he's definitely mid-range.
Definitely mid-range, and that's gonna, as Steve said, I think that's gonna go in his favor, and he's probably gonna slow this game down. Popping the secret, it is a freezing trap.
Yep.
And he's already got Nightsmoke at 17 health, because Nightsmoke has not stopped this turn 1 reoccurring juggler. So this juggler has done 12 damage by himself. Or actually, sorry, 9, because he didn't attack on his first turn. So 9 damage is a ton for a hunter creature to do that much reoccurring damage. Nightsmoke does have options here. He may just want to stall damage with the Belcher. Healbot is also good, especially with that trap up. You might try to, force him to trade into it so he doesn't get to bounce it. Dan, what do you think you would do here as the handlock?
I mean, this is not, and you feel the need to just belch to just keep things away.
Especially after seeing the Owl.
You also know, I would assume at this point that it's... Actually, has he seen anything to know it's a mid-range yet?
No, he hasn't.
I mean, this could be even faced for all he's seen.
Yeah. So without that, I might have just gone for the heal bot. Right. Knowing it's a freezing trap, I definitely would want this at this point to try my best to leverage the freezing trap to get the healing back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Steve, back to you as the hunter expert. Are you gonna hunter's mark this, or are you just gonna try to go through it?
I wouldn't hunter's mark it. I would think really hard about kill commanding it though, because your hero power is gonna be really valuable as the game goes on, and I think you want to preserve your board going forward.
Right.
And this is pretty awkward too.
I actually really like this play. I know I'm not as savvy a hunter player as you are. I actually really like this play because I like keeping my kill commands till he throws down his Moltons and taunts and makes a huge wall. You just go over the wall and kill him really quick. Give him a false sense of security. You know, try to force him into making a wall instead of healing. So I like this play a lot. This he could clear right now with this Shadow Flame, but he is. I mean, I think that's probably the play, right? Is there any play even?
I definitely would.
Yeah, clear on. We're gonna see Ancient Watcher, Shadow Flame. It's a pretty strong clear.
I actually really like where the Warlock's at right now. Depending.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good pickup.
Those are
the bow's also
really
a good pickup.
curve right there.
So I might take that back.
So, and he's not hero powering, so I guess he's keeping the animal to activate. I find that a little odd. And so Nightsmoke's probably he could drop the Molten and healbot.
Yes.
I mean,
So
he's got without the healbot though, and without a taunt, which is a big ask, I guess, from a handlock turn. But he does have lethal in hand since he didn't play the Cobra.
So many
Oh wait, no, he doesn't have enough mana.
He's at 12 health. Wow. So Nightsmoke playing with fire here. And he's pretty rewarded. Now he can play the Cobra because he picked up another animal. So he's going to play the Cobra, and Nightsmoke is
and the Cobra will die to Sun Fury Mortal Coil. Or a Dark Bomb. So I think you're playing that Cobra hoping it kills the 5/5, and it doesn't. So.
Well, the thing is, the freezing trap is up. So.
Yeah, duh.
One of these creatures is going to attack.
But he can actually use that to his advantage and get the Protector back to taunt up the Molt Giant and the Healbot.
Well, yeah, he can do that.
Actually, no, not if he's Dark Bombs. Or not.
Not on this turn, but he can't because the Hunter's not going to remove it all in a turn.
Well, I guess he's just not going to remove this. This Loatheb's just
I think he definitely Giant Healbot though.
Most definitely. And then as a Hunter player, after I see this play, I'm starting to sweat because now I'm not sure how I win the game.
Right. Well,
now there's a clock in play.
All right. So first, you Animal Companion, or you don't. How do you not? You have to Animal Companion. Okay, so he's gonna.
Unless you're gonna kill command the 5/5 now.
He certainly is. All right, now you have to Animal Companion.
He's really depending on that as his lethal.
He is, and next turn, if there's no taunt, he's gonna have, and you should do it. He should just kill command face right here. He should absolutely.
I totally agree. Yep.
So he does it. There's no Loatheb to stop this. There are taunts though. And we're definitely gonna see a taunt. And there's no way that that Mykel's gonna get oh my gosh. So we're gonna see a lot of taunt. If I'm Nightsmoke here, I taunt everything. I drop the Belcher.
Yep.
But I think he miscounted.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is just come down to the end. I think Mykel needs a quick shot. Or so, I mean, he needs like a...
he needs a quick shot. Quick shot will do it.
Quick shot, yeah. Quick shot would be 5.
1 mana too many, actually.
So he doesn't get a quick shot. Does he have any other outs? Let's see here. Does the Animal Companion matter?
No, there's no way to get past that.
You can Huffer kill command the 8/8.
And that's not gonna do it. So Mykel really goes for the gold and falls 3 health short.
Yeah. I think those few hero powers he couldn't weave in early on are what did him in.
Nightsmoke keeping his composure. It got real close, but he survives. So that's game 1. Nightsmoke taking it 3-1 over Mykel. So Team Andy jumps out.
4-1.
Yeah, out there with the win. So pretty crazy game. First game starting us off. It's pretty cool to see some of those deck choices and those teching from Mykel. I would have loved to see that priest you were talking about, Dan. but unfortunately we only saw it once.
See it work out better.
Yeah, it looked pretty intense. All right, so for game 2, we're gonna jump. We're gonna have we're gonna have Neo Seraph from the Pigeons, and the Pigeons are from Franker Z against Killa Jive, and he is part of the Angry Chicken Fan Club team. Neo Seraph has Druid, Hunter, Priest, and Killa Jive has Warlock, Mage, Warrior. So looking at their lineups, what do you guys? Who do you think is favored? Let's start with Dan.
One more time.
Okay, sorry, I was going over a lot. So Neo Seraph has Druid, Hunter, Priest, and Killa Jive has Warlock, Mage, Warrior.
Well, Druid's usually a safe ring when you open blind. As Killa Jive, I would expect that and bring like a Tempo Mage, I think, or Mech Mage.
Mm-hmm.
But also, people who bring Warrior generally like to open with Patron.
Right,
it's pretty similarly good against a lot of stuff. So,
and Neo Seraph doesn't have a great response to Patron. Priest, Hunter, and Druid aren't really strong classes versus Patron. So Killa Jive may have.
Yeah, that's a strange. Yeah, that's not a common lineup.
It is not, and I mean it's interesting. We won't see a single mirror match, which should be pretty nice actually. We'll probably see some deck diversity here. How about you, Steve? Who do you like here?
I like Killa Jive just because I think his lineup gives him more options.
Right.
I liked Druid early in the season too, and I liked to open with it because it is a safe pick and you don't limit your options in the match when you open with Druid. But I just found that there are way too many decks that do have options like Warlock, like Mage, and like Warrior now with Patron that can really punish you for bringing Druid because they can play the board well, but they also have variants like a Handlock, like a Freeze Mage that can respond to other classes too. So I think Druid, given our league's format right now, is actually a really weak class. So I like Killa Jive's lineup to beat Druid, and then, like you mentioned, I think Patron's a really safe open. And then with Mage and Warlock, you have so many options of what deck to bring to finish out the match.
Not to cut you off, but we are jumping in right now. They're starting, and actually, not to make you eat your words, but it's going to be a control warrior, surprisingly enough, from Killa Jive, and Neo Seraph opens with the Druid. So, as you said, I actually,
there we go.
I completely agree with your analysis, but you know, the Druid is actually extremely favored versus control warrior. One of the best matchups for it in the current meta, and we see
I would.
Able, so what?
I would think that that's a bit of an oversight if you know your opponent has Druid to open with control warrior.
Right, and as you mentioned, a lot of people, or I think Dan mentioned, a lot of people do open with Druid. So opening with a control warrior against a Druid is probably going to end up biting.
It was ballsy, yeah.
Yeah. We do see
a Nat Pagel.
Yeah, so this is, I'm very excited for this. I'm ready to go fishing. And I think Neo Seraph's really hoping to catch some.
Nat Pagel and Ragnaros, which isn't really a Druid staple either.
Well, seeing this, I wonder, I think, I only caught the last in the mulligan. I do believe I saw combo pieces, so I guess it isn't a ramp Druid, but that Nat Pagel would, it's just odd, and I think Killa Jive's just as confused right now. And he actually, funny enough, I mean, I guess you could coin Despite it, but is that worth it? I guess Killa Jive does not want to go fishing, so he quickly kills off our dear old friend. And now Neo Seraph kind of got an awkward hand here.
It actually makes me sad. Nat Pagel is a really cool card, and I wasn't good enough at the game to like have the resources to have a Nat Pagel back before he got nerfed, and so I totally missed out on the fun.
Yeah, he was an auto included a lot.
He went from incredible 2-drop to incredible Piloter Shredder drop.
Great way of putting it. Nat Pagel and Low Walker Cho are some of my favorite cards. So it's worth mentioning Neo Seraph doesn't know Killa Jive is a Patron warrior. So he may be he's probably really hoarding these keepers and stuff. I mean, I probably wouldn't drop those anyway, especially with the Despite sitting there. But he's gonna drop this Druid of the Claw, which this Despite's gonna be able to beat, along with a little encouragement from Cruel Taskmaster. Although it's gonna leave Killa with just kind of an awkward curve. and we do see that play. I think that's the only play. Like, I don't like leaving. I wouldn't throw Belcher down against the Druid. I think we'd get out tempoed. Neostroff now seeing that play and the Cruel Taskmaster, which has kind of been kind of phased out in a lot of patron lists. Do you run Cruel Taskmaster in your list, Dan and Steve?
I run one.
You run
personally.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, do you run one?
In Control Warrior?
In Patron.
Oh, I don't run any, no.
Okay.
Actually, no, I think I have one. Yeah, I have one.
You have one. Okay, so both of you still run.
They're just, it happens so often that you're like, wow, that'd be great to have, but I don't
it's such
have
a
2 mana to
versatile little
spare.
card.
Oh wow, I actually got the Wrath Glitch. That's crazy. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Oh no, there we go. Okay, so we see a quickly removed Cruel Taskmaster and the Shredder. And it looks like Killa doesn't want to leave things up, so he's going to use this Despite. What do you guys think? Dan, do you, as a Control Warrior player yourself?
My spectator mode broke.
I think mine did too. I'm going to have to do the same thing.
Mine barely survived. It glitched for a bit. Well, anyway, he goes with the Despite over the Shield Maiden, continually trying to remove these mid-range minions from Neostroph's board. It does set up the Despite to remove a turn 7 Ancient of Lore, which looks like Neostroff will be dropping. So it is going to work out. Killer Drive trying to play the tempo game with Druid, and so far it's working fairly well considering he's missing a lot of removal. He's missing his shield blocks, or shield slams rather. He does have an execute. So Neostroff does draw 2 with his Ancient of Lore. And
that BGH is a great pickup.
It's an enormous pickup. What's the play for Killa here? Well, without hesitation, it looks like he's just going in. He doesn't think it doesn't look like he wants to consider removing the Slightwell.
I think that's a fine play. I'm not sure about the Geddon though.
Yeah, the Geddon's an interesting play. You're already at 21 health, so kind of getting a little low against a Druid.
I think with Alex and Grom in your hand, Geddon is really only played here to bait the BGH because Druid doesn't have another clean answer to it. So now you know that you're dropping Alex Straza and not losing her to BGH. But I mean, this matchup is just so hard to win that I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, and this is where it's going to get really ugly for Killa. He doesn't really have the removal to keep up with the board or the tempo of Druid, and now the combo, he starts to be in danger of combos. If I'm Neostroff here, I'm really going to try to push. I think I'd really try to get Rag out as soon as possible and really interrupt his late game minions. That being said, I can see Killa doesn't have a BGH in his hand. Killa will be able to get a fair amount of armor this turn. And I wonder if Neostroff attacked a little prematurely there.
What now?
But it looks like he's going to go ahead with the Wrath. He picks up Wild Growth, which is the worst card right now for him. And it looks like he's going to have to settle with like a Shredder or some other kind of mid-range. He's not going to be able to play his Rag. And he elects to actually go with the Keeper of the Grove and clear the board again. What do you, are you guys back in? What do you guys think of this play?
I would have liked
back out, but
okay.
I would have liked to see the Rag because you know that you just played your BGH, and so if you're playing the mind game with your opponent, if you BGH to Baron Geddon that was put on a naked board, you're assuming that he wanted you to do that. So if you play Rag, you interrupt the turn 9 Alex Straza for 15. So I think I would have played the Rag there to kind of seize the initiative.
Right. Well, worth noting, Neostroff does get 3 minions down, and he has the combo in his hand.
True.
So I think this is game. I think he could have brawled, but it would have been a really weak play that would not have won him the game. And Neostroff was able to fill the board, and that's got to be easy lethal, right? 5 plus 6 is 11 plus 14. 25.
I have some kind of glitch. Is the card between Shredder and Wild Growth the Savage Roar?
Shredder? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I have some kind of glitch. It shows like
Some
a
kind of
0 mana
Warlock card?
purple card. Yeah.
yeah.
So that, yeah, I definitely would have made the play he made last turn.
Neo Seraph is actually 1 mana off right now. He can do 25 damage with his board and the combo, and that's not going to be enough. So he actually, this is an incredible Rag turn because Rag hits, if Rag misses, Rag misses. And I don't know if Killa's really going to have a good response to this. Neo Seraph plays it and then Hero Powers instead of drawing with the Wild Growth. I probably would have Wild Growth myself, but maybe he's just trying to get a little more
well, he was off by 1 and he wasn't want that happening again.
Alright. So he snipes the Alex, which is huge. But this BGH is a great kind of false hope for Killa. I probably would brawl.
I would brawl and then BGH after the fact.
And he's
now
necessary. So worth noting what Dan said. That one attack actually just gave Killa lethal, or sorry, Neo Seraph lethal. That one attack, I said I would have Wild Growth. I would have been 1 off. That one attack actually gave him exactly lethal. He's now at 25, which is exactly what Neo Seraph has with combo. So that attack was huge.
Yeah, that was a really good observation by Neo Seraph.
And I think he's probably double and triple checking his math. But he does indeed have 25 with the combo. So hopefully he sees that.
What now?
And Killa right now is probably a little nervous. Because, I mean, Killa probably has done the math. If I had done the math before, I probably would have brawled and then BGH'd had Drag survived.
That's, yeah, exactly.
That's
the ideal situation.
Right. So Neo Seraph's going to actually combo. And this might be a little tilting for Killer Jive if... Wow, I think Neo Seraph might be lagging. Or is he like really BMing? He may be lagging really hard. I'm not seeing him play or attack with anything. So
I'm not either.
Oh, I think he just lagged out.
Oh no.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's huge. That's really big. I wonder if he's talking to Killa. He had lethal. He had exact lethal. Killa Jive can really come back, and it looks like he's just gonna plunge on ahead. And he's gonna be able to. That was an enormous. That was really unfortunate. He's gonna armor up, and this is probably gonna go to the warrior now.
Yeah, generally when someone leaves the game, they're gonna lose.
Oh, has he left the game?
I mean, he's not online on Friends.
No, neither.
Did he lag out?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. So our policy in the league is if you do lag out, you automatically lose the game. It's somewhat new this season. That's unfortunate. He had lethal, and it's just that's really unfortunate. Neo Seraph played it really well. As we pointed out, that was like a really, really top-notch hero power to give him lethal. Unfortunately, it looks like he's having some connection issues, and Killa Jive is going to survive to fight another day. All right, so game 1 going to Killa Jive, and we're going to see if we can get Neo Seraph back on here.
Did Killa Jive finish?
No, I think he's waiting for Neo Seraph.
Right. Well, that's a sportsmanship play.
Well, I think he's just waiting for... the game hasn't kicked Neo Seraph yet, and he's roping now. So it looks like Killa Jive...
it's Neo Seraph's turn.
Right.
Never mind.
So... this is just really unfortunate, and just one of those risks that come along with a online game. I mean, obviously, it doesn't really matter here. Killa might be a little confused as to why his opponent's roping. And it looks like, okay, so he is doing the gentlemanly play, which is really polite of him, and when that's waiting.
Wow. He's a better man than I.
A chance. Yeah. And it looks like even if Neo Seraph were to come back, there's just really not much hope for him. I think the Blizzard gives you a minute after disconnecting, and we see Neo Seraph just got back.
Yeah, came online.
He may actually make it back in this game. This would be one of the biggest comebacks if he is able to bring it back.
I'm not really sure how, though.
Right, it's going to be really rough. But it is possible if he were to get a swipe, it would be really big. He does have some pretty good minions in his hand. Druid, Claw, and Shredder are pretty good. So we see Killa finishing his turn, and it looks like Neo is back. We'll see if he plays. He's got to play something really quick. He's getting roped. And maybe he hasn't gotten back onto the client. He's in Hearthstone. Oh, so he hasn't gotten back into Hearthstone. He's just logged on. He's in BattleNet right now, I think. Yeah, and the rope does accelerate as the turns go. Really sportsmanship coming from Killajive. And now this looks like it's pretty impossible. I mean, it was pretty rough to begin with, but
Killajive is still the real MVP for this.
that MVC, that sportsmanship.
What now?
And now Neostraf has actually reconnected to the game. So hopefully he'll emote or something to let him know. But going forward from Neostraf's turn, I mean, I guess you can Belcher, you can... or no, I'm sorry, you can Druid, you can Pilot it, Keeper of the Grove, that's 9. Alright, so... Killa doesn't play any minions, which is kind of odd. I think I probably... but I guess he's just trying to give Neo a chance. So Neo has to play something really quick. And did we just see a KT? We did.
We did.
Wow, so... Interesting deck here. Killa, it looks like Neostraf has reconnected. Anyway, so that's going to be game 1, going to Killajive. He was really respectful, giving Neostraf a chance to come back and reconnect. Neostraf seems to have some issues with his connection, and that's really unfortunate, as he did have recall. All right, so game 1 goes to Killa, and we're going to hopefully get that sorted out. He gets his warrior out of the way, which is pretty big.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch win.
Yeah.
How unfavored that was.
Yeah, it's just a really tough situation. It's really unfortunate. Neostraf would have gotten his Druid out of the way, and Druid's about to go up against Mage and Warlock, which are really tough classes for Druid classically to beat. So Neostraf may really find himself in an uphill battle.
I think at this point, you just leave the Druid on the side for now.
And just try to,
hope for a 3-2 in the end, but be okay with a 2-3.
Right, I think that's a good point. I think you just have to drop it and use, I guess, Priest or what's the other? He's got Priest or Hunter, I believe.
Hunter, yeah. I think I would use Priest.
Well, that was the surprise of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Hunter against Zoo or Tempo Mage, so.
Oh yeah.
And you're assuming your opponent's going to bring both of those because he knows you have a Druid. It would pain me to play Priest over Hunter.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
Oh, he's just going to come back with the Druid, though.
Alright, so he comes up.
And we see a hand lock.
Another hand lock. So that's 3 hand locks. That's 3 for 3 on the sorry about that.
The Knight?
On the Knight. That's pretty surprising. Now a lot of pros actually are saying that this is Druid favor. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, anything with burst, I feel like is, as a handlock, you want to you play with your life basically, and things that have burst make it a lot harder to do that. So yeah, you can get nice big giant taunts up, but you don't want to just do that out in the blue for no reason, right? To try to just anticipate something. Although Druid does struggle with removal, so it's not the worst idea. But the fact that so much damage can just come out of nowhere means that your Healbot and your Jiraxis just don't matter.
Right, that's a fair point. Worth noting, as a hand-lock player, I like to coin tap if my hand is as atrocious as Killa's is. I mean, this is just an awful hand.
See, I think against Druid, I would have coined out an Ancient Watcher and then silenced it right away. So I have a 4/5 that's hitting the Druid in the face.
Well, he didn't have the silence until he drew it this turn, so he didn't know he was going to get that owl.
But I think you make the Druid anticipate you doing it, and then you mess with his line of play even still.
Right, drawing the owl, I think it's valid to drop the Watcher. Wow, this is the
It's a demon handlock.
Demon handlock, and this is it's an interesting deck. So he goes with a really defensive play. He goes ahead and silences a Shredder, which I'm pretty sure Neostraf's pretty okay with. He also,
what else does Druid have? They really want to. I guess Ancient of War if he's running it. But other than that,
which is really common on a lot of these turns. I don't think Neostraf is running it, but we did see the KT. Of course, Killa's not expecting that, but we're gonna see. Wow, so an Innervate is picked up, and he does have the BGH. So Neostraf's hand's pretty good, and on the contrary, Killjoy's hand is really unwieldy, like extremely bad. And that more.
It's really terrible because even a Void Caller at this point potentially puts him with a Jiraxxus on the board, which actually against the Druid might not be the worst thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially if you can like Thunder Vargas it.
Absolutely, that's true.
Until Druid gets Mulch next week, and then everything changes. But that's for the
what an unintimidating
sounding
name for a card.
Yeah, Mulch.
Mulch.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
I countered it with soil.
Neostraf is it's interesting here if he could just, what do you think about playing the Dr. Boom there? I guess he's, oh wow, that is a Harvest Golem.
I totally would have been on board with Dr. Boom.
Oh, it's gold, that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta play it. Swag value.
Yeah, right.
Swag value. So I guess he's trying to keep the Innervate for maybe Dr. Boom into turn 8 combo. And this Loatheb is actually, I would never Loatheb on turn 7. Druid's turn 7. Like,
no, because you're just Ancient of Lore or Dr. Boom
or
Dr. Boom. There's so many turn 7s from
this definitely makes Neo's decision much simpler.
And the Loatheb's so important in the matchup. And now it looks like Neo's gonna have just a really quick win here. I don't think there's anything that can be done actually.
And he's gonna get the Druid out of the way, which is a big deal given the way the match is lined up.
And Killa's, this is not gonna matter, will it? I don't think it will. Let's hear it. I guess the bombs.
It's relevant. Yeah.
It depends. I think it depends on what the bombs do.
Do you save up for double combo? Do you wait a turn? I don't think you can because
no, you don't even need to save up. No, you just do it.
Yeah.
You've got 2 Innervates.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you? Oh.
You just do it. Well, he's not.
Wow, I don't think he saw that. That was lethal.
I didn't see the second Innervate at first.
So I think
that was definitely lethal. I feel like we didn't even have to count.
He's gonna do this play, and this is just really odd. You have all these tokens out, and he's destroying them. So Killa's gonna or is gonna Dr. Boom here, and now Neostraf can do the double combo and have lethal like very easily.
Yeah, even still.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
He can do it, but it's actually not lethal.
Really? Let's look.
Oh no, he hero powers. He hero powers is exactly. Oh my gosh, Neostraf, do math, bro.
2 in a row.
He had exact lethal with the second Innervate into hero power.
Instead of a double combo?
No, he would have double comboed and then.
He's only at 9 mana. He would.
Yeah.
So he was one off. He was one off, but if the bomb hit face, it would have been lethal.
Fire Day, you gotta do math, bro.
Swag value. Bomb goes face.
This is impossible. This lethal, right? Like, this is just not gonna happen.
Oh, he's got a Defender coming down though.
He's at 21 health, so he's at 21 health. He has to clear 2. He's got 2. Oh, that's lethal. That's
now that you have the swipe in hand for next turn, you have to just go for this.
No, it's such easy lethal.
Even if you don't feel like adding, you have to know, like, okay, I can just do a ton of damage and then swipe next turn.
My hand is nothing but combo pieces.
Yeah, it's all damage.
It's probably a good idea.
Time to do damage.
Oh my gosh, I honestly think he had. All right, he was one off last match.
If he lags out again,
oh no.
I don't know what I'll do, but I'll be really sad.
I'll be so sad. All right, so he's got overkill by.
But he's not moving.
And he's not moving his cards.
He's not moving.
Oh, Neo. He's already missed one lethal. I wonder if he'll
Neo!
Oh, he's
Okay,
back.
all right.
I think he was doing a lot of math. I think he's okay.
Savage Roar.
Play that innovate. Attaboy.
Savage Roar. With the rope. Don't lag. Just don't lag.
Yeah.
Alright, so easy play. If I'm Killer Dive, I don't concede because you don't know what's going to happen.
And so there you go. Even if he had Molten Giants in his hand, they were useless and completely unplayable this entire time.
Yeah, I'm interested as to why he chose a handlock over something like a zoo. He must just not be comfortable playing zoo there. Or wasn't expecting to find Druid get played again.
Able to actually put the combo cards in place and get the win. So they're actually tying it at 1-1.
I think he actually swings the matchup back in his favor there. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I do.
I think the Priest is going to be really troublesome for him.
I think the Priest is going to do better against the handlock than it will the Zoo, though.
It really depends.
I would totally agree.
Traditionally, really unfavored versus handlock. It depends. The Priest we saw from Mykel probably would do really well. Double light bomb is really good tech.
Yeah, I always just assume in this meta that if you're seeing a Priest, it's a super control Priest.
Wow. Well,
ooh, Call Master, misdirection, explosive trap. My hunter sense is tingling.
Yeah, Steve is climbing into his smork suit right now.
Oh, this is awesome.
This misdirection is gonna be hilarious. I mean, I would love to see a giant misdirect it for lethal.
To face.
That's all anyone ever wants to see.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. So some really cool decks coming from the US.
And then he goes back to Web Spinner, so it's gonna be a slower hunter again. He really just needs to pepper that hero power like as much as he can.
Well,
he said as he slowly removed the smork suit.
No, I don't like playing face hunter.
Okay.
I'm a mid-range guy.
That's what the Golden Hunter says, guys. We all believe you, Steven. We all believe you.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that I farmed all 500 wins as a mid-range hunter. I just said I like the deck better.
Anyway, so Killa has actually almost a perfect hand. This is.
I don't often care what my opponents think of me, but when I do, I play mid-range.
That's pretty funny. So we see Killa with a great hand. Neostraf is going with the hero power instead of the coin animal companion. This Ironbeak Owl is and this is just
so
really
much
important for a hunter to deal with this early.
That's a nice little bit of that and then top decking the hounds is
a little synergy.
Nice little something, yeah.
Something. So we see the animal companion come down. Probably want to meet.
There's the Huffer.
Huffer is awful. I think I would trade with the Watcher. Yeah. It's so bad. The Alex gets it for free. The Dark Bomb gets it for free. And now he's about to be wow. Oh, and Killa knows. He knows.
And he's got no way to.
But he has a way. He has misdirection, but not in his
no.
So this is the battle of the and right now Neostraf's like, dude, you can't switch up your decks. You have to play handlock. Like, right. I know. So Misha's a pretty good answer, except when
it gives your opponent Mal'Ganis.
And he very astutely
there you go.
It's a heads up play.
That is such a heads up play. He's owling this is a deck that probably I think plays Twilight Drake. So pretty incredible play there, and Killer Jive is going to clear board, maintain board control, and Killer Jive's at a really respectable 25 health. Neostraf really just cannot get anything going here. I think we'll probably see the bow and explosive trap and go face. I like that play a lot. And also what it does, what I really like about this play is it is a trap. It'll kind of confuse Killa's expected traps in the future. Yep. And so Killa's not gonna, he might expect future explosive traps. By the way, golden explosive trap is just so pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Traps in general.
Yeah. Traps in general. Thunder traps are golden. Oh, wow, and he picks up this second, so he really is trying to get this Void Caller out there, and he's gonna taunt it and be like, no. Mal'Ganis is coming. Oh, he doesn't kill it. So
life taps. Just come at me, bro.
Yeah, he's...
Alright, he only needs the Hunter to do 1 damage to it, and then he can just Dark Bomb it to do the rest.
Yeah, that Mal'Ganis is itching to come out, and there's really no response to Neostraf. I mean, I guess the kill command is something.
The Mal'Ganis is kind of an interesting include here, because without... I feel like the majority of his value comes from being played on a board full of Implosion Imps, or something like that.
So Strifeko
just as a standalone guy.
Strifeko's been playing this deck recently on ladder and doing really well. I think it's interesting.
He's also Strifecrow.
Yes, he is.
Oh yes, he is Strifecrow, exactly.
Yeah. He is in fact Strifecrow.
So this is really odd.
Yeah, he missed a hero power. Which, if your opponent doesn't have anti-Keelbot, I think you're still feeling okay in this situation.
Well, you're not.
Well, you're like, I mean, what has he got?
Because if you're playing Demon Handlock, you know that if that Void Caller's triggering anything, it's a big demon.
This is game.
Oh, yeah, that's...
He's actually, by playing a second minion, allowing him to clear Mal'Ganis with the Unleash and the kill command, but right now Neostraf was like...
that didn't quite hit the mark.
That didn't quite hit the mark, that's the best way to say it. So, you gotta Unleash, kill command, and just be happy that Mal'Ganis is out of the way. Also, Dan, this is probably why you bring Mal'Ganis. This is just incredible. And that's a kill command. That's just down the toilet.
That hurts. That's
an Unleash down the toilet. And that's your surprise hyena down the toilet. So, that's too many toilet analogies for one day.
Also, I mean, all I know about him is what he says when you play him, but he seems like a pretty proud guy. I don't think he'd appreciate being called the toilet.
Being called out. So
the award, yeah, definitely the award for hubris or most hubris goes to all the Warlock legend.
Yeah, the Warlock legend.
I hope Fizzlebang is similarly just super egotistical.
Did you play WoW at all or no?
Old days.
Answer truthfully, Dan. Don't you
vanilla.
sell me down the...
So do you know the lore between Fizzlebang and Jiraxxus then?
I picked up that he was the guy who summoned him, and he's got a pretty sweet gold animation suggesting just that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, well, let's wrap this up really quick because it's going to be a really quick wrap up. Actually, I think there's a lethal on board. Oh, he's one off lethal. Oh, he is. So if one of these move off his face.
Oh, misdirection!
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, no!
Snake.
Wow, is he playing one of every
Snakes
trap?
Is actually really big.
Well, that's how you.
Yeah.
That's how you preserve the integrity of the secret.
Oh, but these juggles are killing Neostraf. It needs to hit one of these. Oh, the worst juggles. So Neostraf...
Wait, leaves the beast alive.
Neostraf avoids lethal somehow. And now...
It's gonna be fine.
So that was a really crazy play. Neostraf doesn't pick up something to save him, though. He's done. Right. And so Killajive is able to out-weird Neostraf's deck and win most unique deck contest of the night. I love these guys and their techs, though.
Last week it was Fell Reaver, this week it's Misdirection.
Yeah, Mange with the incredible Fell Reaver. So Killajive's going to get back on top with the 2-1 lead, and Neostraf with the... giving him the honor of killing him. And no BM from Killajive. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Steven, so I was going to finish that game. So yeah, the lore is he tries to summon a Doomguard, and yeah, he summons Jiraxxus, who then kills him.
And then that's why the Jiraxxus
just like a
replaces
normal
your hero, everything is so cool.
No, and That's a great point, Dan. He tries to summon a... What's it called? He tries to summon a... it's like a super Doom Guard. I forget the word. That's not the right word for it.
He calls it like a fearsome Doom Guard or something,
right, and that's actually a card in this expansion.
Yeah, they're printing it now in the Grand Tournament.
So it's pretty cool they added both these cards. So anyway, cool bit of lore. That's your lore corner, presented to you by THL and Cassidy. Hope you enjoyed it. So now we're gonna see a Medivh mage.
If it's lore, it's Cassidy.
And that's Freeze Mage. So a lot of uncommon decks coming your way from Killajive here, and I'll be really excited to see Neoseraph's Priest. This is a really interesting matchup. I think a really good Priest player can win this very easily. But the thing is this. So basically, as a Priest, he's going to mulligan really poorly, which is really unfortunate. He's going to mulligan against aggro, and he's going to actually... That thought
picked up a Thought Steal, though.
That Thought Steal is huge. And so the way the Priest wins this is if the Freeze Mage player is a little too greedy and kind of uses Alex too early without being able to have a certain next turn overkill. So that's the way the Priest can win this, because he can bounce back, obviously, with all the healing. Additionally, if a Priest has like a really strong, if they're able to put a lot of pressure on the Mage, they can do really well. The biggest card in the matchup for the Priest is really the Injured Blade Master. If they can get that to full health, that's next to unkillable for a Freeze Mage. So I'm really excited to see this matchup. I love seeing Priest, and I'm Freeze Mage is my best deck, so I'm excited. So yeah, Killajive is going to not want to give the draw to Neoserath. That's huge, not giving the draw to Neoserath. But he does want to get rid of this Cleric quickly, so he may just throw the Mad Scientist out for one turn. If Neoserath gets any sort of buff here, it would be enormous. He doesn't, which is unfortunate. So this is gonna...
And why wasn't it just isn't worth the burn to use the Frostbolt there?
Yeah, it's certainly not worth the burn. And actually, I really disagree with this play from Neoserath. I would have taken the one draw. I would have taken the one draw and put the one damage on this guy, and that way he gets killed off next turn anyway. Now Neoserath knows, he should know from these two cards that this is indeed a Freeze Mage. Additionally, the ping and the lack of aggro is indicating it. So Neoserath is probably contemplating the next few turns. If I'm him here, I definitely would play... the Cleric's alright, the Arcanian sucks. This is an okay play. I also like the Auchenai was a really good play. Wow, that is a Shadow Pain. That is an enormous card. So Doomsayer has no answer. Priest can never kill Doomsayer. It's really, really difficult for them to do that. And if Neoserath is really on it, he'll just hold on to this pain, and he could really punish Killajive if he gets too greedy with that Doomsayer. So anyway, I'm sorry, I've been going on. I love both these classes and this matchup in particular. It's a really interesting matchup. You really want to get the Auchenai down early and just try to start pushing damage. Also, it's a great response to Emperor. And this is going to force him to... I guess you can Auchenai here, but I'd probably use my Death.
I would think... I mean, especially, I guess, unless you would want to save it for Antonidas.
Yeah, and that's fair. Actually, that's a good enough point that I probably would save it for Antonidas.
Because he's got more health, but in this case, you could just use your board with the Auchenai to kill.
Right, and you're really not progressing your hand well. It's like act like this is just not enough pressure. You have to put pressure on a Freeze Mage, especially as a Priest. Like you really.
Man, that was some hand to get ET'd.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's an excellent point there, Dan. That's an incredible hand. He has the Alex included, and the Anto, and a Frostbolt. That's a huge hand.
And the Thalnos.
And the Thalnos. Yeah, the Thalnos is pretty big in this matchup, as you're probably going to be needing to really extend your burn. Although with this Anto at 6 and a Frostbolt at 1, this could quickly get out of hand. So Neoserath is now, this is where, you really want to get that Auchenai down, and this is great. So he's now starting to apply a little bit of pressure, but this Ice Barrier, I don't think Killajive's really feeling it, and he's got a great hand. I think he might go for the Nova Doomsayer, and this is where this pain is going to be enormous. I would be shocked as a Freeze player to see a pain. So we do see the Doomsayer come down. Right now, Neostrash feeling really good. So he can Pain, and then he can also play. I would probably Thought Steal. Pain.
I think so.
It's like a pretty good play. And then you have used 5, so that you can even Hero Power Face.
And you use Thought Steal to figure out what he has in his hand, too, based on what you take.
So Killa's actually probably really bummed about that. Obviously, ooh.
I have no time for
Sylvanas is all right. It's okay. I guess it's a little more pressure. So we're gonna see Alex come down, and notably, Auchenai is down, so he can't heal. He has to kill off his Auchenai. I think right now Killa's way in the lead. This is really aggressive, but because he has the Antonitis next turn, and he's so high on health, he can afford to really push it here. So if I'm Neostraft, I would, oh my gosh, you really, really want to kill off your Auchenai. Oh man. Well, he's gonna apply a lot of pressure here, but this is just not, you want to be healing like incredibly fast at this point. You want it to be healing 4 health there with the Holy Nova and your Hero Power. And this Antonitis is really gonna punish. He can Antonitis, he can and Killdive's playing really, really fast. I think this game might just be over at this point, actually. That's really, he's gonna get punished extremely hard for not killing Antonitis here. And I think he might just be dead. He is. He needs
Even
to...
if he had healed up last turn, I don't know that really would have made
Well, if he
that
healed
big a
up
difference.
last turn, he would be at 13 health right now. And then he could heal up to 15. And he would be at least alive next turn. As it is right now, he needs to Thought Steal into something. He really needs to Thought Steal into an Ice Block, or Ice Block's really.
He would not have been alive at 13. At 15, he would not have been alive because of Thalnos. That one mana Thalnos, he could do 15 with 2 fireballs and a Hero Power.
Well, he can't Hero Power and do double Fireball with the one Thalnos.
Touché. Never mind.
Yeah. So he would have been really tight, but he'd at least be alive. As it is right now, he needs to draw with this Acolyte. He needs to draw with this Power Shield, and he needs to find what. So Holy Nova. Okay, he needs to. Thought Steal or something, or draw. Oh my god. Well,
that's it.
That's a quick game. He's able to pop the block. I think he was trying to do both, but Neostraft able to close it out. And I guess just to explain that a little bit more, he's dead to board. He knows that Killerdrive has 2 fireballs, so Fireball, Ping is dead, lethal. So he had to draw, and he just didn't use any of his draw mechanics, so that's why I was so adamant about the draw. Anyway, Killerdrive able to really quickly finish off the Freeze Mage game and take the series 3-1. What did you guys think about that series?
After the commanding Druid comeback, I thought we were gonna see maybe even a turnaround.
Yeah,
I did too.
and it is worth noting, like, it was really, he had lethal in the Warrior game. You know, like
Absolutely.
that had a tremendous impact on the series. And unfortunately, he disconnected. Killerdrive played it really, really well. I didn't see many, if any, misplays. And Neostraft played really well as well. He played really well. He did miss a couple lethals, I think, but it is really hard to calculate that kind of stuff, especially against a deck like Handlock that can really punish you for not killing them. So great play though. In some cool decks, I would love to see more of that Hunter. I love Misdirection. It's a fun card. So yeah, good stuff. And you know, what was that? Turn 6 Jiraxis, or not Jiraxis. Mal'Ganis is always a fun time. Always lots of fun. All right, so we are. Excuse me. We are going to go into game 3, which is kind of our two super heavy hitters in the league. Yuri, one of the hardest names to pronounce, against Slimch. Both players are at a perfect 500 PR.
That's crazy.
The champions.
So these guys are literally tied for.
They are rank 6. Didn't know it existed until they got it.
Yeah, they have rank 6. They are the premier players. So let's go over the lineup.
We should call it rank S. Just me?
Just they go to a different tier.
You're like, I mean, does anyone else play? No, just me? All right. I feel like that happens. You like get, you ranked A and then you rank S. All right, fine. We can move on.
I still missed it. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so are they...
Someone listening will get it. They'll be like, yeah, that's a thing. You'll all see.
Okay, so they're getting ready to play. Let's see here. So let's go over the lineups really quickly. Really similar. A lot of the big decks in the meta right now. We see Yuru with the Warlock Hunter Warrior and Slimsh with the Hunter Mage Warlock. Warrior. Last we saw Yuri bring the same lineup. He brought a aggressive hybrid hunter. He brought Patron Warrior and Handlock. So it looks like he's going to bring all the same back today. What do you guys think about their brings?
I think it's really important to note, especially for people that haven't played in the league long, that they're both playing really versatile classes. And so I have no doubt in my mind that they each probably have 6, 7, 8, maybe even the full 9 decks made up of the 3 classes that they brought. And
aside from the one you're going to bring first,
yes,
I wouldn't be surprised if they have at least 3 of the other 2.
Yeah, and so it's going to be really interesting to see how they adjust to each other, because game 1 in a match between 2 players of these quality is just going to be the beginning.
Let's jump in. They've started. Both have Golden Warriors. It looks like we have Patron from both players. We haven't seen any Patron pieces from Slimsh, but I know he is. Oh, he brought Control Wear. I know he does like Patron. So this is pretty exciting stuff. So this is a matchup typically favored to the Control Warrior. However, it is very, very possible for patrons to get 50 or 40 or 50 damage combos and just blow Control Warriors and all their armor out of the water. So this is really draw dependent. Neither player knows what it is yet. I think both are probably suspecting Patron. And I think it'll be a little bit of time until we really
I think that's a great move by Slinch. A, just because he kind of has to, but B, because I would certainly expect that that's a patron or someone who's that aggressive to get their Deathbite out.
I think anytime in a Warrior versus Warrior mirror that you can limit an Acolyte to 1 draw, you just have to do it.
Right, and this is going to really make Yuri's next turn really awkward. Slimsh kept the Brawl, which I thought was really good. He kept actually every card except for Shield Block, so he was really happy with his opening hand. Yuri also kept a lot of his opening hand. Both players with really good hands. This ET is going to grab a lot of really good combo pieces. It's got... Actually, no, I take that back. It really is only a Patron.
Well, two Taskmasters.
Yeah, interesting to note, we were talking about Taskmaster as a fringe card earlier, and Yuru obviously values it because he's running 2 copies of it.
Right. So here, if you're Slimsh, let's talk about this play. And that's a great point. The double Taskmaster is kind of an odd tech card.
Well, when you're going up against when you know that Slimsh is bringing a Hunter, I think it's fair because I think it does really a great job against.
Okay, fair enough.
Against the Acolyte.
So Slimsh has a really tough decision here. Do you play the Acolyte and not attack? I mean, so you're going up against Harrison. Harrison is sometimes seen in Patron and seen always in Control Warrior. So I think Slimsh is worried this might be a Control Warrior, and if so, he doesn't want to lose his Deathbite. And that's why I think we're going to see him attack here. If he knew this was Patron, I think he wouldn't have done that, and so that's a great example of why.
Well, I don't know if that's true either, because if he gets a Patron down and inner fires it, then
Inner Rage.
Or Inner Rage, sorry. Then
we also see the Dread.
I guess he would need 1 more mana, but that your Deathbite can suddenly only help the Patron.
I think you just value drawing the card over not drawing the card.
Interestingly enough, we also see the Dread Crusader from Yuri. Again, this is another card that's kind of been phased out in a lot of Patron lists. I'm interested to see what he's cut, because we do see the Unstable goal. So there's got to be some sort of flexibility, and I'm wondering where it's coming from in Yuri's list.
It's a great pickup for triple draws off that Acolyte.
Yeah, Slimsh is going to be able to respond, kill this Acolyte, and keep his Armorsmith alive.
And pick up a
He's
couple.
going to get double
He's going to play
Armorsmith
the other
value.
Armorsmith. Yeah, this is
Right.
great.
So this is going to work out great right up until next turn when it looks like Yuri's probably going to ET, and then things are going to get awkward for Slimsh. He's kind of out of removal. Maybe he'll pick up 2. Something. Oh, there. Well,
There's a
there you
shield
go.
slam.
All right. Well, Slimsh is just.
The good news for Slimsh, too, is in this matchup, Acolyte and Armorsmith as 1 health minions are really vulnerable to patrons not even needing combo pieces to really populate themselves. And
Right.
he's able to get them out and get value out of them before patron's a big threat. So I think that's going to really help him down the line.
That's an excellent point. That it's just so important. And wow, we see it. Wow, a Gnomish Inventor. So just a lot of. Okay, so ET is going to come down. It's a huge hand.
Do you not run Gnomish Inventor in yours?
I need to see Viriday's patron list after
Oh,
these
yeah,
comments.
that's
I do run Gnomish, but I know that it was sort of a flex spot for Dread Corsairs.
Oh, okay.
So I was expecting him to cut those perhaps, but I don't know what to cut. Anyway, so this ET is going to give Slimsh an idea that this is indeed patron. ET is included in some control decks, but not very typical. Slimsh is probably really expecting it. So if you're Slimsh here, what's the play?
I think you just have to Shield Slam and armor up because you don't have anything to do after Shield Slam.
Right, and are you concerned about a massive combo now that ET?
That's a good point. You
Like,
could
you-
trade
I am-
both your Armorsmiths in and then execute.
That's
Right.
actually what I was thinking.
I think I like that play. I also kind of like just throwing the BGH down, as well at the end of this play because it's just
Yeah, because you don't know what BGH really isn't going to hit anything in this matchup unless somehow he's
Right.
running Gromosh too. But Gromosh was out of patron months ago.
I
Right.
actually think this is a smart play because it draws out the combo, and you're sitting on a
And
brawl.
then you brawl. Yep.
yeah. So he's now going to have his suspicions confirmed with this Gnomish Inventor drop, and he's really kind of lacking board presence to deal with these little minions, which is not a really comfortable spot. He's really going to want to look for a weapon pickup. Again, he can drop the Shield Maiden or perhaps Dr. Boom. Dr. Boom is always a liability, though. As Steve was saying so well, that you're dropping a lot of little creatures. That's only going to make Frothings and Patrons that much more dangerous.
And anytime you can get patrons on the board without giving up your pieces for your frothing late in the game against a deck like a Control Warrior, it's just so much value because you only have so many ways to kill somebody if he's going to
Right.
be sitting at 30 to 40 health all game. And so not having to use your own cards to make a board full of patrons is just fantastic.
Right. That's a great point. Yuri, we can see though that Yuri is lacking the war songs and the
War
frothing.
songs.
So this Dr. Boom is actually really good. I think
He's
Yuri
got a
goes
battle
for-
rage though that's gonna do some work.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he could really go for it. But the thing is, the war songs and the frothings are really the most dangerous part of Patron. And without them being ET, their reduced costs, it's actually kind of rough for Yuri.
They're all
He's-
3 mana, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy combo to put that together, especially with this warrior going into the deep into the 50 and 60 health range. So we're going to see the first Grim Patron here, and without the war song, it looks like without the war song or the execute, it looks like this Dr. Boom is actually going to stay alive this turn. Yuri, I think, is just trying to hopefully draw out a brawl here and create a huge board. And as Dan said, he could also get a really nice battle rage here. And I think that's the plan. He also is going to create a ton of armor. Worth noting, Slimsh has a armor smith out there. If I'm Yuri, I probably would kill it. Or
With
these
what?
boom bots could be huge. Let's see what they hit. Here. And we're seeing the rope, and things are starting to come down to the bottle. Wow, one hits the armor smith, the other in his face. That's really rough for Slimsh. And we see another Dread Corsair. Wow, and there's the execute.
Wow, he
and
still didn't find frothing or a
wow,
War
I
Song
wonder
Commander.
if Yuri prematurely hero powered instead of executing. He drew both executes, and I don't know what you'd want to execute if not Dr. Boom here.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be feeling in a tight spot too, because he still has no way to kill
actually,
Slimsh.
I'm of the opinion, and I play double brawl, but I'm of the opinion in this matchup. I hold him to brawl like it's the most important thing in the world.
I do too.
I think he can clear here pretty easily without brawl.
Definitely.
And I think that's probably the way to go. But it
brawl
looks like
needs to be your last resort in this matchup.
He may be trying to hold on to these shield slams. Maybe that's his plan. Killing that seems a little odd. Maybe going for the 1 extra armor, I guess. Alright, so we see the brawl come down. He's going to have to shield slam and clear power. And it's just, yeah, that's a pretty expected outcome. So Slimsh avoids the first patron onslaught, and the board is clear, and he's sitting at
46
health. Okay.
Oh, 46. Wow, that was bad.
And now Yuri's just gonna have to start waiting for war songs. He's gonna. So I don't know. I don't know if you saw this, Steve. Did you see when Trump got killed at 50-something health on an empty board?
I did not.
By RDU. Yeah. In the last week's ATLC game, Trump got killed on an empty board with Control Warrior at 50 health.
Wow. How?
Yeah,
Two
it was
frothings and
double frothings, and like, I mean, it was just a really incredible play. But that just shows you that, like, you're pretty much never safe. Like, ever.
Nerf, please.
Yeah. So wow, this is a really big pickup. This Fiery War Axe. I think Slimsh is going to want to cut down on this board. He's going to want to start battling. Yuri does have 10 cards left, and it's incredible how poorly he's drawn. He has none. He literally only has 1 patron. He has no frothings, no war songs. So Slimsh is probably a little more concerned than he really needs to be. But he's going to remove this board, and I would expect to see the Shield Maiden play.
Yep.
Yeah. So Yuri's just looking for anything. Still doesn't pick up a combo piece. He does have quite a few whirlwind effects in his hand. He has
once that war song shows up, he's got options.
Right, and I mean, he's going to put together a huge patron play. The problem is, I don't think he can afford to play. He can't afford to play patrons and another frothing. So he's going to be feeling a little bit of pressure. And so these kind of turns are really awkward because you want to be proactive. You want to continue to put Slimsh on his back feet, but
you can't.
Yeah, you just don't have the cards necessary. So we're going to see another patron play, and Slimsh is going to have a much harder time dealing with it. He's going to need some sort of top deck to really put this together. And Yuri is really going all in on the assumption he'll draw into some sort of combo play. And this could really pay off for Yuri, because Slimsh doesn't have the cards he needs here to really clean this up at all. So Yuri going all in, and we'll see if this gets repaid. Slimsh,
and this is why you hold on to Brawl like it's
right. Yep. This is why,
like it is life.
And I wonder if Slimsh is playing another one and just figured he would draw into it. But right now, this is a terrifying board. Frothings and Whirlwinds can just quickly destroy that huge life totals. I think you have to dig here. Every other card except for perhaps Shield Maiden is dead. You could, I think I wouldn't play a card because you don't want to activate that unstable rule. Execute.
Yikes.
Nope.
Isn't helpful, and I just wouldn't play anything. He only has 2 cards, and you've got to hope that they're not Frothings. Like, yeah. And Yuri, this is really, really tough for Slimsh because Slimsh isn't going to be able to kind of use his axe or interact with this board because you can't play anything to activate this unstable rule. So Yuri picks up the Frothing, and this is going to really apply pressure to Slimsh.
Really just needs a freaking Warsong commander.
Well, at this point, he just needs a Whirlwind. I mean, he just needs something to... and you're right, he's going to hold on to that Frothing. But he did see the Execute. Also worth noting, Slimsh could BGH it if he were to play it.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was. That's what I was thinking. Because you know, Control Warrior plays BGH.
Does not draw into anything, and this is getting really dicey.
Wow.
I think we're gonna see a Grom this turn, and I think he's gonna try to clean up some of this. I think I would try to remove this unstable goal Whirlwind effect before, you know, Frauthings show up.
I would totally agree.
What now?
But you're trading. That's just rough because you're giving him 2/3/3s.
Yeah.
Right.
If you make him activate on his turn, at least he doesn't get to attack with it yet, unless he's got a War Song. But then
Well, War Song and Frothing is probably lethal, and because I mean, Yuri just did. He did what 5, 10?
15.
Yeah, 15 damage. You can't just sustain this turn over turn.
Right.
From Slimsh's perspective, and this is really a tough spot for Slim. He's gonna play the Shield Maiden. He's gonna try to sit it out one more turn, and that's that could. So we're gonna see this Unstable go off, and this Battle Rage. Well, ironically enough, after the goal goes off, then a lot of its value is gone. So the Battle Rage. Yeah, so Yuri's.
You have to draw into Warsong Commander before. Like, you can Battle Rage now. Because there's only 7 cards left, and 2 of them are Warsong Commander, so it's almost 50-50.
Let's see exactly how unlucky Yuri is.
It's about
Also,
31%.
he would go to fatigue and right off the
There
top.
she is.
And a Death Spite.
A Death Spite.
Wow.
So Yuri is going to
Win.
this is not going to be quite lethal, but this is going to put a ton of pressure, and he already knows that Slimsh is lacking a way to remove.
There you go. He's making space for the.
Yeah, you have to make room for patrons.
So Slimsh desperately needs Brawl. A Brawl would absolutely steal this for him, but anything else next turn, aside from a Brawl and maybe a Baron Geddon, I think, or yeah, it's going to be really, really tough for Slimsh to come back with. So Yuri, I assume, is going to get all this off before the rope goes off. I think he did get all his attacks off. Let's see how big. So this is not lethal, but it is putting Slimsh on a really, really small clock. Oh, did he not get all his attacks off?
I don't think no, he missed 1 patron, I think.
Oh wait.
Oh, there it is.
So Slimsh needs Brawl or Die here, and he doesn't get it. So that is
it's gonna be Die.
Wow.
Game. There's no way, right? That is
No, even
9.
you're just delaying the inevitable, I think.
GH to kill. Oh, he's not dead, but I think he is dead to the
11,
Death
14, 17. Yeah.
He's
Because
dead
he has
to
no
the
way
Death
to
Spite.
gain life.
He doesn't know it yet. So Slimsh drops what is actually a very favorable matchup for him, and now Control Warrior could find itself in a little bit of an awkward spot here.
I like it against Hunter.
Yeah.
I've got the beast
Although
in
this,
my sack.
well, he had the shield blocks, but it's.
Yeah, I like it against Hunter.
I like
Unless he
a
just
little
gets
faster list.
Yeah.
It has a bit more mid-range to it, some cheaper stuff. Because, I mean, it's very possible to just get run down a little too fast.
Yeah, if he doesn't draw weapons or armor smith, like, you need at least a weapon and an armor smith, or a weapon and a taskmaster or something, and then you feel pretty good about that matchup.
Right.
So Yuri takes game 1, despite being unfavored, and that was a really tight game. I think it really has. I don't know what Slim has in his deck. I don't know if he runs double brawl, but I mean, Yuri really is unlucky actually. I mean, he went down to the last 4 cards to find his War Songs, and he still didn't draw Frothing in his last 4. So Yuri was able to overcome that and still get the win. I think looking back on it, and it is easy to judge things in retrospect, but personally, I think you hold on to Brawl until you absolutely can't afford to not play it.
That is the difference.
Right, he had some really, really inefficient ways of removing those patrons with the shield block, the shield slams and whatnot. But anyway, so you're able to pull it out, and he's able to get his patron off the board, and more importantly, he's able to learn that Slim is playing Control Warrior and not patron. So Slim switches to Freeze Mage, which I've actually never seen. I don't think Slim should play this, and Yuri switches to Handlock. So this is an interesting matchup. Slimsh has probably researched and knows that Yuri plays Handlock, from judging from last week, and he should expect that. This is a pretty decent hand for Slimsh. The Icebox really unwieldy, and a lot of times the Doomsayers don't land. Yuri, on the other hand, has an atrocious hand.
Yeah, that's really bad.
The good thing about Handlock is you draw a card, so he might draw some answers. Slim Shear needs to just... There's no reason to coin. You definitely don't want to coin anything here. The Acolyte of Pain is really good next turn because it forces Handlock to kind of deal with it on their turn 4. So this ping is probably going to clue Yuri in that this is probably a Freeze Mage or a really bad...
Slim did do a good job of taking his time there, though.
Right, and that's
debating
the point. He may be trying to
things.
bamboozle a false read from Yuri. All right, so I like this play. This is a pretty advanced play for a Freeze Mage player. He's playing this on their turn 4. It interrupts their mojo. We know Yuri's hand is atrocious, so Yuri's happy to do something on his turn 4. And he's going to Dark Bomb this, which is pretty rough for Slumsh, but he's probably thinking, oh, well, at least he wasn't dropping a Giant for pressure. The Arcane Intellect is a huge pickup. That's really, really good. Can he play it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yes, he can.
9.
Drop 8. Oh, no, you'd have to coin.
You'd have to coin it.
I would be okay coining into Deep Guard, actually. I'd probably Ice Block, I guess. I have Ice Block, and then coin ET next turn, I guess, is the play.
Sure. You gotta get the Ice Block down at some point, so why not when there's no
This is
threat?
a really kind of a bad ET hand, though. It's got Sunburn. It's not
Got
a great
Fireball and an Ice Lance in it.
I think this is actually a really hard play here. There's a lot of validity to Arcane Intellecting into Doomsayer. If he gets a Mad Scientist, this will be a really, really good play. He
Into
does
Doomsayer?
not. Doomsayer, yep.
Just to prevent the drop?
Yeah,
Like something big?
it rarely gets value against Handlock, and putting it down on a turn where they have 10 cards and want to play, it's amazing.
Okay,
So,
yep.
and so he would have been really rewarded here because Yuri would have had to throw a card away or probably play Hellfire or something. Anyway, Slimsh is now going to Nova Doomsayer probably. You don't really want to coin ET now. Also, it's worth mentioning this is still a
We used the coin last turn.
Oh, right. So I do like how long Slimsh is taking on these turns. It's important to be planning out what you're doing. As a Freeze Mage, you want to be thinking about 2, 3, 4 turns ahead. So that's kind of why you want to play around. I like Preemptive Doomsayers a lot against Druids and Handlocks. Also worth noting, against both those classes, they have so many silences, Doomsayers rarely go off. Now, we do see Slimsh may get really lucky here and get this Doomsayer to drop if Yuri doesn't draw into something, and he doesn't. So
Well, you can Shadow Flame.
Right, but Shadow Flame
I don't know if that's worth
pretty
well,
much
but
nothing, except...
against a Freeze Mage, though, what else are they going to drop?
Like Antonidas or something.
I guess, yeah.
And it's worth noting, I've had some high-level players play ET into Doomsayers against me, just for the effect. They don't really care about the body. I think it's a fair play, and I think Yuri's probably considering it. I think Shadow Plane is not really productive at all. I would probably even Hellfire over Shadow. No, I would probably just ET if I'm Yuri here, or consider maybe even just throwing away your Sludge Belcher. But Slimsh is extremely lucky there's no Owl. And Yuri taps for the Owl, and now he can't play ET, and he's just going to throw away this Protector. Yuri's hand is just so unwieldy, and this ET is going to have an enormous impact on it once it finally gets dropped. Funny that Yuri's going to kind of reconsider it. Anyway, alright, so Slimsh now with more burn. We see the Pyroblast. Pyroblast not always included in Freeze Mage, but it's okay. So Emperor's going to come down on an empty board, and Yuri will have to do whatever costs anything in his power to get rid of it, and I don't think he can. He has 10 cards, he can't tap. He has no way of killing this without a Dark Bomb. So he could Hellfire tap, but Yuri is, oh man, leaving a Freeze
Hellfire
Mage,
tap, he still wouldn't have the mana to Dark Bomb.
right? So he has to drop his ET here, and this is, and that's
It's just kind of...
You just can never leave a Freeze Mage with ET up. It's like, this is, Yuri's heart is sinking right now. Slimsh can't believe his luck. So if I'm Slim Shear, I'm definitely gonna just draw first and see what I get. But most likely you're gonna just want to fireball that. But I mean, you're gonna draw if he can draw into an Antonitis. That's enormous. 7, 12. Oh, he just missed lethal.
Did he really?
Yeah. I just counted. He had lethal. It's really unintuitive for a freeze mage to kind of smork that hard, but that was the frost bolts is 7 with the ice lance. That's 12.
Yep.
Oh, he's 1 off. Wait, was he 1 off? I may be wrong. He's 1 off. Wait, that's 12 plus 6.
6, 9,
plus 8. So he's 1 off. He's
13,
1 off.
18. Yeah, he was 1 off.
Regardless, he now has just tons of damage, and it's very discounted. So,
Oh my gosh.
Well, Yuri is
Pyroblast,
Fireball.
Ice Lance.
He can do 17. Yeah, he can do.
The Frostbolt's
Actually, he
free
can do
too,
more
yeah.
damage with full fireballs.
That's 17.
You can do 23.
Yeah. So Yuri's.
Oh wait. Oh, it's on turn 8. Never mind.
I think
Wow, we're not even to turn 10, and he's jeez.
we're gonna see a heal bot come from Yuri, so he'll pop up to. I think he's yeah, I think he wants to do Molten and then heal bot. I think he's wanted to consider what he wants to do with these ETs. He can't afford to leave Slumpshes up for another turn. I guess Yuri will survive this turn. He'll go back up to 24. Or sorry, 22. Slimsh has 12 plus 7. So Slimsh doesn't quite have lethal. He does see a heal bot. And this is a little dicey for Slimsh because wait, that might be it. That's okay, I think that's gotta be lethal. That's 14 plus 18 plus 5 is 23. Oh, he's
got it, and he sees it.
He sees it. So he was 1 off that one turn. He didn't actually miss lethal. So good on Slimsh for figuring it out. I think it was pretty well played by both players. Not much here to do. This is a really weird matchup. It's
Well played.
Hamlet has so many rebounds with Draxus and the double heal bots. You have to be really careful about not just sort of throwing your burn down. That's a huge
this is the same idea as the Juror from earlier. If you can do all your damage to the handlock in one turn,
you can just knock it out.
It's just gonna take it, yeah.
So Slimsh able to get his freeze mage a win. I like that bring, knowing he was freeze mage. Freeze mage is really pretty good against both warlocks, and it's extremely good against hunters. That was a good bring. So now he gets freeze mage out of the way. Slimsh now has his hunter and his warrior left, and Yuri has his handlock and his hunter. So, what do you guys think you're gonna bring if you're Slimsh here? Do you think he's gonna bring handlock back, or?
Slimsh doesn't have handlock.
No, I'm sorry. Yes,
no.
I'm sorry. So what do you think he's gonna bring, hunter or warrior?
I would probably bring hunter.
I'd probably bring a hybrid hunter list, yeah.
So I think, yeah, we'll see what they do. I think Slimsh, yeah, I actually was gonna say this. I think he's probably more comfortable in the control match-off. Although this is gonna be just.
Oh, this is a faster control list. Hey.
I'm surprised there's a Senjin. I'm surprised
Yeah.
they brought this back with Senjin in it. Senjin is just so
Not
bad.
good in this matchup.
And then look at Yuri's hand. Wow. So Yuri.
Oh boy. Well, you keep the execute.
Keep the Taskmaster executes a great.
Oh, I think Slimsh will most likely keep all of these cards.
I would.
The Senjin's fine, and he's rewarded with healing.
I'd hope I would never see Senjin again.
Yeah, and exactly. Hope you never see it. The cool Taskmasters are 1 is really good, 2 is not so good. And Yuri Brawl's a really good pickup. So Slimsh is picking up some really crucial things. If you're Slimsh, you really want to. I think you want to start just getting armor. So either way, using the Armor Smith or just armoring is pretty good. Probably just throw the Armor Smith down.
I think I would just hero power.
Yeah, you'd hero power over Armor Smith.
Yeah.
I guess he's just trying to get as many hero powers in as possible.
And I don't know what Armor Smith, unless you're planning to use it for execute. I don't know what it's going to get you armor from, because Handlock's just going to hero power anyway.
Well, there's the Shield Slam, which is a great pickup for Slimsh. The problem is he just doesn't really have the armor yet, and he's about to get hit by a turn 3 Twilight Drake.
Twilight Drake, yeah.
Thank you. So
now you're forced to execute a Drake, and nobody ever likes to do that.
No one likes to do that.
Now the snowball is rolling.
Wow, well with a BGH pickup, I'm happy to execute it.
Oh, wow, yeah. I'm like a second and a half behind you.
Yeah, so we're going to see the Taskmaster execute, and now Slimsh has almost the ideal anti-handlock hand. He, I mean, obviously, the Armor Smith's a little dead, but the rest of this hand is really good.
The Armor Smith's not that dead with a Taskmaster around.
Pardon?
With the Taskmaster, the Armor Smith's not that dead.
Right,
Armor Smith always wins brawls, so he's got a great 7-mana combo in his hand.
So Yuri going to tap there, and he's just going to play this naked Sun Fury, which I guess Slimsh can get rid of with the Taskmaster. If he picks up a weapon, wow, Ysera. So, wow, Ysera is actually one of the hardest cards for a handlock to deal with. Without Siphon, and a lot of handlocks don't have Siphon. So, Slimsh here, I think we're going to see the Taskmaster come down. And the way he does this is he can get 1 extra armor if he Taskmasters
himself.
Right. So we'll see. I'm sure Slimsh is aware of this, and
then that puts him in hero power range of getting 8 next turn, so he can just not have to use the BGH.
Now, that being said, throwing away your second Taskmaster does really hurt because
from the Chromash perspective, yeah.
Oh wait, Slimsh,
oh no! Don't do it, Slimsh.
One.
No.
Oh, I guess he's just not going to.
That makes sense. You save the card, and Armor Smith can clean it up.
Right, and that's what we were both saying. Like losing the Taskmaster really hurts as both an execute enabler and as a ROM enabler. So it's really bad part ways. But losing that armor really hurts too.
Well, not really, because he gets it now anyway. You can just trade hero power Shield Slam.
So
I think I would BGH because I want Shield Slam for Drakes.
I like PGHing here mostly because it also gives you tempo on this turn. You don't have anything else to do with Shield Slam. So BGH, you clear the board, BGH, and then you're gonna set up like a Shield Maiden Shield Slam will let you kill anything in the game. In future turns, and you've got a nice little, little but still, it's there, board control. So Yuri's got a huge hand. And he's just staring at Slimsh with 10 cards. And there's a lot of options there.
10 good cards, yeah.
Really, really good cards. This Hellfire is an interesting one. What do we think of that?
I don't know when else you're going to get value out of it.
And I guess those cards already gave you... Those cards already gave you... They would have killed your Belcher. So I guess he just didn't want to throw away a Belcher.
Yeah.
So now he's got the same kind of issue, but can't Hellfire this. So I think we'll probably just see a Belcher, and this is a really, really good mid game for Slimsh picking up these double shield mains. That's just going to give him a lot of health. I think he's really going to want a weapon here. Like, just keep board controls just so huge. Acolyte of Pain, I guess you can draw, but then you lose your card. I think you will do that, yeah.
I think you have to give up the Taskmaster.
This is really going to set him up for a second Hellfire, and I think we'll probably see that. You just saw a Hellfire. You're probably not playing around a second one with 16 cards left. And just the fact that... Alright, so let's see. This is kind of a big draw. I think he's probably looking for... Death Spite's pretty good.
Just a little late.
Just a little late, yeah. I agree. So this is really, really vulnerable to Hellfire. I think we'll definitely see a Hellfire. And Yuri's just just looking for anything he can kind of play. He really can't do much at all. And the funny thing is he can't really tap either because his hand's full. He can't.
Is he at 10?
Yes, he's at 10. So
yeah, he's at 10
he hasn't tapped, even though he's had mana to do so the last 2 turns. So he's going to Mortal Coil, look for something. And maybe he will not Hellfire here. I just assume he would try to not let this Acolyte draw again. I think he wants to Mortal Coil. He's also trying to unclog his hand, which is fair. So what do you guys, would you Hellfire here, Dark Bomb, Mortal Coil?
I think I would definitely Hellfire.
Yeah, ditto.
Well, it looks like he's trying to...
Because I don't know what the Dark Bomb really accomplishes for you right there.
Wow, okay, so he's a little greedy, to be completely honest. And
Oh, there he is playing 2 brawls. Okay, to defend the play last game.
oh wow, so he drew kind of poorly last game. He is playing Double Brawl, and Double Brawl is really good against Handlock actually. Brawl can get some extremely good value. So if I'm Slim, this is really. I think I just play Ysera here. I think you just get it out. There's no threats on board. And there's really few. Wow.
You're not afraid of Siphon Soul?
Now I might Deathbite. I think I still Ysera. Yeah. Because now, yeah, you could get like a Ysera Awakens, which is the best one in this case, or another threat, which is good.
No, Drake's not bad either. Yeah.
Ysera is just so annoying for Yuri. There's no response, and he's just gonna have to try to. Now he's just gonna have to try to play some big stuff. And the problem is he can't even. I guess he's gonna play something else. He has to play a Watcher here. Yeah, he's got a full hand. That Sylvanas will be challenging this Ysera though.
Has he Shadow Flamed yet? Or does he still have that?
He does still have the
deep
Shadow
in
Flame.
that hand. He does?
I think it's in his.
No, I think he used it.
It's not in his hand.
Oh, he didn't use it though. I don't think
No.
he used it.
It's in his deck somewhere.
Or was that last turn? Or last game?
Oh, yeah, it must have been last game. Okay, so Slim Schnow is going to be able to really take command of this board. He's going to be able to clear with a Shield Slam on the Twilight Drake, Emerald Drake, Deathbite, and kill with Ysera, and that's going to just really put the pressure on Yuri. And this is just a situation where Control Warrior gets really, really intimidated because they have such cheap removal. And I mean, Ysera, anytime it's been down, I mean, the longer Ysera stays on the board, this is the most obvious. Oh, he's not going to clear with Deathbite or even set up Deathbite. Oh, he gets Awakens. Wow, so that's an incredible.
Holy cow!
So, right away,
No time for games.
Yuri is just gonna go for.
Ysera.
And this is actually gonna matter. It's not gonna be lethal for
Yeah, Ysera Awakens is now not helpful.
And this is why. Well, this
helpful,
is why I wanted him to set up the Deathbite last turn, and I'm really surprised he didn't. Because that would have been easy lethal. So now Slim.
It's a bit awkward.
I think I'd probably use Ysera Awakens, and
Ysera Awakens.
It doesn't kill.
Oh
Ysera.
right, I'm
Kill
so
the
sorry.
other Ysera,
Wow, that
yeah.
was really embarrassing. It's misplay of the year.
Yeah.
That would have been so awkward.
You just play your Belcher, right, and develop your Deathbite.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Shield Maiden, I guess.
Or
it doesn't
Shield
matter.
Maiden. I probably would Shield Maiden just
Yeah,
to
'cause she
put
trades
some
with
kind of
it.
threat to trade. Yeah, exactly.
For some reason, I thought Ysera was actually Sylvanas. So he does Belcher, and is he going to develop this Deathbite? I'm shocked. I think he's maybe scared of the Ooze.
Yeah, he has to be.
Something. And he's going to hit face. Or not. I'm really confused by these line of plays. What's kind of funny, though, is that...
Just over my head.
Yuri doesn't have... Yuri can't tap, and Ysera is actively filling his hand. So he's actually kind of got a really cool
Yeah,
hand.
he's gonna dump cards.
So he's going to drop this Emerald Drake, and I think we'll probably see like an Argus come down, some sort of defensive play.
He's gonna need that. There's lethal without it.
Possibilities.
Right.
Yeah, Grom Ysera Awakens plays 15 damage.
Right, and then with the so he's gonna get defensive, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a brawl here. I think Slim's just trying to draw out taunt givers at this point, and the Emerald Drakes are not what Yuri wants. Yuri wants spells at this. He doesn't need any more big minions. He's got all the ones he could ask for. So
I agree. You definitely have to brawl here.
Well, he may block first and see what he draws, because after you brawl, there's not a really good follow-up play. And honestly, actually, there's quite a few minions you really don't want living. In fact, there's really the only one you really want living left is interesting. So I guess he'll death.
I like that. Yeah, he can death spider if he needs to.
And Ysera survives, which is actually really good. Just I was about to say that. Like, he can easily kill it and not take a lot of damage. Again, he's not going to have lethal set up, which is just... and he's kind of out of removal, too. So, Yuri's seen the brawl, and so now I think Yuri might go for a more aggressive play. Yuri also has no more taunt... Oh, he has a touch broker, but he's no more taunt givers, so... Slim may be able to really push for lethal here now.
Yep.
I think I would just Shield Maiden and
Deathbite
face, right?
Yep.
Boom's not bad either.
I guess the boom bots are threatening lethal as well. He's only 2 off as it stands. Yuri has no Shadow Flame, so this is actually really kind of awkward. And I think he's digging for it. And he misses on his first. Oh, and that's lethal.
Oh no!
That was a huge boom bot. That was exactly what Slimsh needed. So Yuri is
at this point. I think you have to tap.
I think Yuri is considering potentially using maybe using Jiraxis, or he could do this and put down the Belcher and play around Ysera Awakens, and he is going to do that. So
very good play.
Very handsome play by Yuri, and Slimsh still unable to find lethal here, and he hasn't seen any Molten Giants. So with 7 cards left, you've got to start really considering that, you know, like Ysera's Awakens would be just really tough. So I actually Deathbite here, even if it gets oozed, isn't bad. So I think we'll see the Deathbite, and then probably just the Shield Maiden to curve it out. I don't know, like I think I would just drop her. He may also just play the Senjin in here, probably, because I don't predict Slim's Claw at all. I don't understand. I've kind of given up trying.
He's just over our heads.
So Yuri's going to need a really big top deck. He does have, I believe he has one more Taunt Giver. Oh, the Heal Bot.
Oh, Heal Bot is huge.
It's enormous. So we're going to see a Molten Heal Bot here, and now Slim's just going to have to restart from scratch. And he can't even do like any sort of fancy re-equipping of a weapon. So Yuri's gonna bounce up to 21, and he's gonna have full board control. I think he's considering removing this armor. Or
Shield Maiden, you mean?
D1.
Or the armor?
Yeah, he'll probably just trade. I mean, he's got a lot, and now Slim's just gonna have to brawl again. So let's see. If he trades here, he
Almost out of time.
I think if he trades here, he's playing into brawl a little bit. Like I think Slimsh is just gonna brawl anyway. All right, so let's see here. I think this is a pretty straightforward.
I think you brawl and see where it takes you.
Yeah, you don't want to hit the Belcher.
Right.
That's for sure. I think if the Molten survives, which is the worst case scenario, you just hit face and then execute. Or I guess you'd hit the Belcher remains and execute the Molten and play Senjin. You're gonna want to reapply another Despite though, to try to.
If the Belcher remains, it's pretty awkward.
Yeah, I mean, then you just hit it, I guess. It is definitely really awkward, the Belcher remains. Alright, so let's do this brawl. Best case scenario for some here is the heal bot. Worst case scenario is the Molten. And it's kind of down the middle. That's
doable.
Yeah.
I must choose.
In fact, I might not even execute that. I'd probably just...
You have Aether Awakens coming.
Right, and I mean, I think Alright, so how much damage is this now? This is 7 plus 15. So that's
19.
22.
You can do 19 to the face.
Okay.
So he's got to get around the ooze.
Oh, right. He can't use Sarah's Awakens with the Senjin on board.
With the Senjin, right.
And I just want to say, Yuri passed up on playing Jiraxis with an empty board at 15 health, which I think is like really, really incredible. He's playing around Ysera's Awakens, which I think is just a really, really incredible job by Yuri. Slimsh is running low on options. Let's look at the fatigue situation here. Yuri is at 4 cards remaining, and Slimsh is 8. So Yuri's got to start considering it. I do believe he still has a heal bot. Not really sure what else. I think Yuri might... I forget what else he's... It's hard to keep track. We've seen so many handlocks tonight. So Slimsh is going to... It looks like trade in. I would really be surprised if we don't see a whirlwind effect go off here.
Speak to me.
And he's going to use his face.
Interesting.
I think I like this play. I probably would just try to get some damage in with my Senjin, to be completely honest. Or I'm sorry, I just try to get some face damage in. That's if I'm stumped here. He's gonna play. Yeah, he's gonna finally hit face with that death play, and I think that's gonna be pretty good. So he picks up Sludge Belcher, which is a pretty good pickup. It's gonna really just add more to this board, and I don't think Yuri plays. And you've seen 1 Hellfire. He has 2 Hellfires in the deck, so I don't think he plays a double Shadow Flame deck if he has the 2 Hellfires. So Yuri, I think we can expect a full board clear and a heal. I think Yuri is gonna continue to play around Ysera's Awakens here. Is there any way he could do it with getting the Molten down? But I don't think there is. The Hellfire one.
No.
6. Alright, so we see the Dark Bomb taking out the front, taking out Senjin. We'll see this Emerald Druid take out Belcher, and then I think we're gonna see, oh, right, an Owl. That's a great play. That's gonna help clear this board for Yuri, and then this heal is gonna be enormous. Sylvanas is a pretty big pickup, and at some
great
point,
pickup.
Yuri combos so well.
With Ysera Awakens, yeah.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Well,
That's a huge deal.
To do 10 damage if played here. It's an enormous deal.
You know you're not going to die. I think you have to do that.
And he's already played both heal bots.
You're assuming, how's he going to heal or taunt?
I mean, the question is it really bad to just play Grom with Ysera's Awakens here and put him to 10?
Yeah.
Yes, when you have Alex in your hand.
Yeah, when you can do that 10 beforehand.
Because Alex sets up a lethal that, if you're Slimps, you're probably 80% sure that you have lethal the next turn because you've seen 2 heal bots and you've seen 3 taunt givers.
Have we seen 3 taunt givers?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, so Slimsh is going to go with this offensive Alex, and this is definitely going to put a lot of pressure on Yuri. He cannot find a way, and that's definitely not it. He's going to be able to draw. Yeah, he's going to be able to draw with this Mortal Coil, but he'll only have 1 card left. And I mean, if I'm Yuri at this point, I know what I have in my deck. So I would just I mean, he may just play. Oh, he's looking for that last card. It's an owl, and he's gonna have to tap. I don't know what that last card is, but Yuri wants it.
It's gonna be a taunt giver, and I'm gonna feel dumb.
Yeah, I've lost track. I mean, we've seen oh, I don't think he's gonna have. Oh, that's game. So Yuri
Even
played
if he
that.
had the taunt giver, though, you can just Sylvanas.
Yep.
Ysera Awakens.
Right. So Yuri played that perfectly. I think he knew. I mean, he played that so well.
Yeah.
And Slim plays really patiently. I would say that not developing the Despite like 10 turns ago, he could have had Leaf on next turn, was probably, yeah, I mean, we can see both hands, so it's easy for me to call that, but I probably would have tried to be a little more aggressive with it. Slimsh plays the waiting game and gets rewarded. So Slimsh is actually climbing up to a 2-1 lead now, getting his Control Warrior out of the way.
Now he has Hunter left against Warlock and Warrior.
Yuri goes back to
Back to the handlock.
so he's really not wanting Hunter leader.
Slimsh is definitely playing hybrid with the Explosive Trap and Glaive Zuka showing up. With the
It's
Shredder.
so odd.
With the Shredder.
You don't often see Explosive Trap in hybrid though. It's usually
No.
freezing. So that's an odd play. I guess he's playing around. I guess he's teched it for the Hunter.
He could also be playing 1 Explosive, 2 Freezing. We don't know yet.
So he trades that.
Well, probably not.
And
Probably not.
and we saw Yuri play extraordinarily well against Suavet last week in this exact same matchup. Yuri played the handlock extremely well and was able to easily win.
Double Mortal Coil's pretty solid opening hand.
It's extremely solid, and the question is he going to have a good response to this Knife Juggler, or will Slim try to be a little more conservative with the Juggler? Nope, he goes straight down with it, and now Yuri's really hoping to find a Dark Bomb. He doesn't, and now it's really awkward. Sun Fury is a good response. Double Knife Juggler is a better.
I think I play Explosive Trap here to make him think it's freezing. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Well, you
It's
know,
a
yeah,
really,
I find
really
Explosives is a weird choice for going against handlock, but I guess obviously it's
I
not
think-
guaranteed he's going against
I
handlock.
think he was more concerned about the Hunter Mirror. It's a really good tech card against Hunter.
I
So,
just more so
yeah.
mean you play it here to make your opponent. Because if you're assuming that that's a freezing. I don't know if that affects the way he would play his next turn.
Wow. So he doesn't play the trap. And Yuri's going to be able to kill this entire board. And I think he's probably going to hold off on he might not mortal this turn. Yeah, so he's going to play the Twilight Drake. He's considering, I think, yeah, he's... I mean, it gets really, really, really countered by an owl.
I won.
This is a really, really tough play. I kind of like Mortal Coiling a little more.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this plays into Freezing Trap, and I think that Slimsh may actually be able to bamboozle him right here by playing the trap.
Yep.
So Slimsh, I would expect a Knife Juggler and then Trap to come down. And if you play it really confidently, Yuri might just get pulled. So the Knife Juggler doesn't come down. And so I wonder why Slimsh... I guess he's maybe holding
Try to get
on.
value out of hands.
Right, so let's see what Yuri does here. He's going to watch her, and the question is he going to play... Also worth noting, Yuri has double Molten. So he has a crazy amount of reboundability. The question is he going to survive? Even with this heal bot, it could get awkward because he doesn't... Oh, wow, double heal
There's
bot.
the
Well,
other heal bot.
yeah,
it's gonna
that's-
be fine.
So Yuri wants
He's gonna be
this...
fine.
He wants this, assuming this is a freezing trap, he wants to rebound the anti-heal bot. So do you think Slimsh is going to continue to play the ruse
Yep.
that this is a freezing and kill the heal bot?
Oh man, I don't know.
I think so.
You just don't
I
have
think
damage.
right now Slimsh is just kind of hoping to sit on a prayer. The other thing is he could do Juggler Unleash, and that could kill the Healbot really easily. And then
that's
he actually
best
might be able to clear the board. Well, leaving the Watcher. And then we'll probably end up seeing a...
Nice.
Well, so this is going to be a...
There you go.
Now, does he clear the Watcher? He saw 2 Mortal Coils. I am surprised he doesn't clear it. So if I'm Yuri here, I just charge in. The problem is he won't. He absolutely will not at this point because he knows. I mean, you have to make sure you kill the Juggler if you're trying to play around Snake Trap. Wow, that's a fearless tap. That is fearless. I guess, yeah, just attack the Lotheb. I guess what I'd do is I'd Hellfire and then attack the Lotheb.
Well played.
And now he realizes he's been bamboozled. So this is now that the gig is up for Slimsh, it's time to sprint.
Yeah.
And the thing is, these Moltens are going to threaten so much damage. So
Slimsh has no burn left in his hand. He's
he also
against the
not
wall.
used any yet either. So he could.
There's a lot left in that deck.
Yeah, but once that Healbot comes down.
Well, so yeah, Yuri's going to be able to drop Molten and a Healbot here.
Yeah, I don't know if I guess as the hunter you always need to be doing damage, but that he couldn't have gotten both Moltens down otherwise.
So now if I'm Yuri, you just is he considering Hellfire? You'd have to be a crazy man to Hellfire. Put yourself at 9 health.
Considering Dr. Boom. I like it.
Oh
Because
my
you know
God.
Slimsh has so few cards that the chances of him killing you are just so low.
Does Slimsh have
even-
lethal?
2,
7,
4,
9.
9. No.
He's 3 off. So Slimsh, I think, is going to go for it here because...
He gets an extra 2 off the explosive.
Yep.
Right. He could,
So-
with the explosive trap, Yuri's effectively at 1 health.
But that second Healbot's gonna cause some serious problems.
The question is, Slimsh is going to go for the full-on lethal, I think.
He's going to rely on Yuri to play into it, yeah.
Wow!
But if you're Yuru and you know he doesn't, like he held that card, you know it's burn. So,
Jiraxis is huge.
yes it is.
Well, so Yuri doesn't know if this is misdirection yet, either. It's worth noting. So attacking in with this is actually really funny. If this was if Yuri is playing against who is that? Neo Seraph.
Yeah, Neo Seraph.
He'd be pretty sad right now.
Hits face and he loses.
All right, so he's back at the 14. Slimsh is sad, and that Jiraxis is enormous because Slimsh now. Oh, Slimsh is just super dead.
Yep.
Yep. This is done.
I was like, Slimsh is not going to be able to...
26 damage on board.
Yeah, I think so. Yuri really showing a lot of aptitude in this matchup, holding off on the zombie chow, not giving any Slimsh any outs, yeah. So that's pretty incredible. Unless Slimsh has got a misdirect up his sleeve and can just run the scientist into the Healbot. I guess he doesn't want to show any more traps. I guess I'd just concede if I'm Slimsh here then. You don't want to show any more traps.
Oh, he played it.
He did play it, and so now if you're Yuri,
Just Jiraxis and then
I mean,
win
you
the
just
game.
run the Healbot in, it's impossible to lose. Again, not playing around misdirection at all.
You face Jiraxis, Elenor, Lord of the Burning Legion.
So Yuri's gonna see the second trap is an explosive. And so if I'm Yuri, I would pop this scientist. I would really try to dig for more information. You're about to play this again. So hit. Alright. Well, so Yuri's able to push it to game 5. This is a pretty incredible matchup.
So we have Hunter against
Hunter.
Hunter. Oh wow, Hunter mirror.
The mirror matchup. And
Last game of the night. Let's go.
Last game of the night. All in honor of
This is a dream come true.
Oh yeah.
For casting.
First time I get to cast, and last game of the night's a Hunter mirror. I love it.
Double gold.
Oh, and they're both golden. Yes.
By the way, I think every single class both of them have brought tonight have been golden.
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, so this is a crazy matchup. Just from seeing what we saw from Slimsh, I'd say he's heavily favored. I think the explosive traps are just much better.
Yep.
Also, looking at this hand, Yuri has a terrible hand, and Slimsh has an incredible hand. So
The
this
faster
is,
Hunter in the mirror is always
just- yeah.
favored. That's just the way it goes.
I agree. Yuri probably knows he's in really big trouble not to have.
Has Yuri already brought his Hunter?
No, this is the first time he's brought it.
Interesting
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah,
Given that
I
he's
would.
seen Slim.
That is.
Slimshes.
Maybe he's running double Houndmaster. No, because
Mhm.
maybe he doesn't have any other Hunter decks built. I don't know. Because you're
Oh.
definitely right. You would think he'd want to go into a face mirror.
Right.
I mean, no one ever wants to go into a face mirror, but
That's true.
And this is a matchup
you
where
can just play
one
craps
step
instead.
is just the game. And so having this Glaivezuka here is huge for Slimsh. He's going to be able to trade with the little minions while maintaining a big board. He would get punished rather
If it was
severely.
explosive. Oh, he's just gonna go face.
Oh, he's just gonna rock it
The
after.
pre-attack is pretty smart, and this trap is freezing. So it looks like Yuri's got freezing traps, and those are going to be less effective here. Although that's
Misha's actually really important.
yeah, and abusive's just as good. Slimsh has so many options here. He doesn't know what the trap
I
is.
think he'd try with the first abusive, and then just play him back down.
I like
Or
juggling.
you could juggle. You could juggle.
I think Slimsh has just got such a huge. I mean, like this matchup is so tenuous that it's pretty much. I mean, I would give Slimsh like probably around an 80 to 90% chance of winning right now.
Yep.
Turn 3. It's so hard to come
Game
back.
is arguably over. Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder.
Animal Companion seems odd though,
To my side.
and he's.
And he rolled what he needed.
That was the only one. He took a 33% chance, and he got it.
Well, Huffer.
Huffer wouldn't have been that good though.
No, you would have rather abusive.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. But it would have.
And he saves the
taken care
weapon
of it.
charge, which is interesting.
It is interesting. He's up 5 health, which is enormous. I mean, he's just so far ahead at this point. That's a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah. So you just want a knife juggler and then abusive, I think. And
Yeah.
then you hope that your juggle hits the gnome, and if it doesn't, you probably hit the gnome with your face.
Knowing Slimsh, I could totally see him playing, like, the piloted here and just trading both in without playing the other two. Because it's pretty, like, the juggler gets killed for free by the, Oh, but you have the Glaivezuka, so you can kill it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just make sure the
Yeah.
gnome dies.
You have to do that. If you don't do that, he could play a freezing trap and really wreck your pilot. Although, I was listening to an analysis in ATLC about this kind of mirror match, and they were saying that like it's really important to get the shredder out of the way early, like get it on board early. And
Oh yeah, as soon as if you have an opening for it, you want to play it. But
So I
don't
why
think
is
in
that?
this situation you do.
So he's
Why is it so important to get it done early?
because it's so slow.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get
Oh,
punished
okay.
really hard, and this is
That's how I
actually-
feel. If you're in Yuru's position and you have piloted shredder, you want to get it down if you can squeeze it in. But for Slimsh, I just don't see it because
And-
now it's gonna get freezing trap. You just
Right,
gave your
and
lead
this
away.
gave Slimsh a huge. This gave Yuri a huge chance to come back now. Unleash could. But he didn't draw it, so now Slimsh is really, really gonna have to try to make up for that. And this is gonna be really difficult because you don't really want to proc the bow, but you can't afford to kind of sit and lose an entire turn. So I think he's gonna unleash an abusive, but not attack, right?
Juggle? You mean juggle?
And really
and
hope the juggler. I'm sorry, yes, juggler and abusive. If this juggle misses, that's enormous though, because it does.
Good miss. Good for you, Slimsh.
So Slimsh with the talent Oh, but the explosive trap pickup.
Oh my.
That's enormous.
So you explode, yeah, quick shot that, and then explosive trap. Oh, bummer.
Freezing came down first though, so it'll. He can select someone to get sent back.
Yeah. And
But
he'll pick
that
the
is giving a
juggler.
lot of bow charge.
Yeah. Oh, there's the unleash, but not. It's one turn too late. If unleash had come last turn, it would have been huge.
Yeah, with unleash, I think I would take the sergeant back,
So
like he's gonna do.
Slim may be misplaying here. I'd probably send the juggler in first. Let
I
that
would
get-
send the sergeant just because it combos with unleash so well.
Okay, fair enough.
Your juggler's gonna cost 4.
Right. Well, that's
10
a lot
minute
of
play
bow
now to get
charge.
both of the sergeants down
So Yuri
with your hound.
Yeah, I would glaive Zuka and then sergeant.
You want to go Zuka first? Oh, he's just gonna go full
Just
He's
go
gonna
for
go
it.
double.
damage. Right. So this point
It's a good plan, but if your opponent has unleash, you just lose.
And he
Lucky
He doesn't though.
Well, so at this point, he can just kill him next turn, right? 5 damage here, 10 damage, 2, 14. So right now,
Oh no, don't
Yuri
play the
just
owl.
he needs to top deck 2.
No!
damage.
Oh, wait, so he's just gonna play it this turn. Okay.
He needs to top deck 2 damage next turn for the win. Slims could get a win here easily with that top deck.
Oh, yep.
He has
So you want to glaive Zuka, companion hero power, and hope the companion rolls a Huffer Leox, not the end of the world.
To my side.
There it is.
There it
Let's
is.
get him.
That
Wow.
would do it. Yep.
Skill.
Played.
So Slimsh able to.
And he even misplayed by not glaive Zukaing first.
Well, I think he figured he was just dead if he didn't get it. So Slimsh able to pull out the tightest of victories against Yuri. A really, really well played game by both of them. It came down to
yeah.
a tightrope Hunter mirror match. Really incredible. Really incredible seeing these two powerhouses play. Great stuff.
So after this, does that mean that one of them's that Yuri's no longer 500?
I do believe. I think that's the case. I
would think so.
Our PR
Because
expert.
PR is always in flux, right?
Right.
Isn't on. Now, Rich, are we going to broadcast Clark, or are we done tonight?
Let me check.
Vendy Click just got online. I sent him a message.
Okay. I don't see Clark Kent though.
Clark is still offline, and I got the impression that it was very iffy, so probably
Okay.
not worth it to wait around for him.
All right. Well, it was a really good night of matches, regardless, and great finale from Yuri and Slim. Great
Yeah,
play. by all players.
two of the 3 went 3-2, right?
Yeah. I believe so.
Was
The first
game-
match was 3-1.
The first
Yes.
one, and the second one was. The
Oh, the second one was
the
3-1
lag?
also because of the
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah, the lag, right? So we had, but overall a pretty incredible night. So yeah, that was awesome. Any last thoughts from either of you?
I'm
No,
just
great night
happy
as
I got
always.
to have the opportunity. Yeah. It was a
Yeah,
lot
it
of fun.
was
Hope to do it again.
Yeah, man. It
Love
was
to have
awesome.
you.
Yeah, we had a great time.
You
Rich,
guys did a fantastic job casting. Well, way to go. Thank you.